I mean, it looks right except for the thing in the middle's wrong.
Oh, I know, I know. It's just an Iron Man shirt, you know. I just got this
Yeah,
for this week. I like it a
yeah, that's
lot.
Iron Man. That's Iron Man 2. We already moved on. It's just a triangle now.
It is just a triangle. So, all right. So, one of the first things I want to get out of the way, right, for Iron Man 3, which is the seventh movie on this whole MCU, is this a Christmas movie?
Okay, yes, it is. It's
Oh,
more Christmas than Die Hard.
oh, really? You think
Come
so?
on.
There's no
Well, the only problem is,
Santa in Iron
all
Man
right, here
3.
I'm going to tell you why I hate when they do the Christmas the Die Hard Christmas. You know
Okay.
why? Because every year, for as long as Die Hard's been out, somebody always looks at you and goes, "I'm going to watch Die Hard for Christmas." You know, and they
I,
smile like you're stupid or something.
I'm
It's
one of
like
those,
I've
okay?
never heard that before.
I'm one of those, okay? But I didn't watch it last year.
You know, it's like, and you know, if you don't say something, here's the funny thing is if you don't say something to them when they go, Die Hard's a Christmas movie, they look at you and they go, because it's set during Christmas. I'm like, duh.
Okay, so Iron
I
Man
mean,
3 is also set during the
it's
Christmas
set during
time.
Christmas, but it didn't come out during Christmas.
No.
But it is a holiday. I mean, if you want to watch, you can watch any movie you want on Christmas.
Well, basically, yes.
Yes, I don't know what the deal is. Why you got to think, oh, well, it's got to have something about Christmas in there? Because I'm like, honestly, Die Hard's not about Christmas. It takes place during Christmas.
Yeah.
Iron Man 3 takes place during Christmas or the New Year, you could say,
Yeah.
because the very beginning of the movie is the New Year.
Well, New
Remember?
Year's Eve.
Well, no,
So,
it goes into the New Year. The plant blows up on New Year's.
oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, it starts off like you're right. It's like the 1999 Christmas Eve
Yeah,
party, right?
it's 1999 to 2000.
I like that Happy has that
So
long hair.
what were you doing in 1999?
Shoot, I don't remember. I know I didn't go into the panic. Everybody stopped buying water and
Yeah, I
stuff.
didn't either. Remember that? Remember everybody? Oh no, it's gonna be nuts.
So since we started, right? You know what I really
Y2K.
enjoy in the beginning of Iron Man 3? They have that guy that looks like was it his name is Jensen? Jensen?
Yeah, yeah, Hedge Incident. Because remember they talk about this burn deal. It's in the Iron Man 1.
Yes.
Remember? Because he goes, "Have I met you before?" He goes, "Yeah, you were very drunk." He goes, "If I was that drunk, I wouldn't have been able to give a speech."
Yes. Oh, it was so good. Like,
Plus,
'cause
like
it's
you
the same
said, Happy
character.
Hogan.
Yeah, Happy
Happy
Hogan,
Hogan,
yeah.
remember? It looks like he's from Pulp Fiction.
Yes, he looks like a
John Travolta's
Travolta.
from Pulp Fiction. He's got that hair. He's always
Didn't Tony make a
God.
remark about like when they get into an elevator, he tells the girls to follow the mullet?
Yeah.
So in the beginning, we're introduced with those with two important characters, right? Was it Maya, the botanist,
Yeah, Maya. Well,
and
you can't call her a
Killian?
botanist. She's not a botanist,
No,
okay?
that's what Tony called her.
Jokingly, he calls her a botanist, but
Yeah,
yeah, remember, she gets a little upset when she's
she does. Oh,
called a
okay.
botanist because she's not a botanist.
So right off the bat, I wanna say this out there that a lot of people were disappointed because in the trailer it shows Mandarin, right? But now when I rewatched it, I liked this so much better. The reason is because they did that purposely to throw you off because
Yeah,
Killian is
well, I know that.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I
I still
like
don't
that
like it.
so much better.
Didn't improve for me. It's the
Yeah,
same.
it's just it was really good and it's really weird to see Jon Favreau not directing this one, but he's in it.
Yeah, I mean, I like his character. I like Happy
I
Hogan.
did too, but
But
I,
like I
I
said,
really like
I
Iron
mean,
Man 3 now.
but the problem is, it's still like I feel the same as when I saw it in the theater. Still,
Oh, you did?
it's
Well,
a
on
good
this
movie,
one,
but
it,
I'm
it
like, yeah, you
changed
kind
for
of
me.
wasted the character.
Yeah, for this one, it changed for me. Not only wasted a character, right? But like,
Oh, really?
it focused more on Tony on this one.
Yeah. I mean, I feel the same as when I saw it in theater. I mean, I'm still disappointed about the Mandarin
Yeah,
death.
but now, yeah, I
And
was
Killian's
disappointed too.
deal is kind of like, because in the comic book, Maya is the villain.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, for this movie, Maya was supposed to be the villain in this movie too.
Really?
You know why they decided not? She's not the villain.
Why?
They consider action figures of a woman villain.
Oh, is
This is
that
true.
right?
This is true because she's the villain in the comic book, and that's why they were going to keep her. That's why she signed on. The actress signed on for this, and they changed it. They said, well, because you know she was almost a villain all the way through the movie. In a way, she wasn't good. I mean,
Right.
you know, but in the end, she has a change of heart, and then she gets shot.
Yeah, I'd like to change
But
her
I would
heart
rather her. I would have rather her been the villain in
instead
a
of
way.
Killian.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, really like. I mean, I like the actor that played Killian. Killian. I mean, I love the Time Machine. It's awesome.
I like Guy
I
Pearce.
mean,
I
and it
did
had a
too.
good story. I mean, it's just I don't know. It's like, hey, surprise! I don't like that kind of crap. I'm like, hey, we threw you. I'm like, no, you really didn't throw me, because now I'm like,
Oh, because you already knew, because the big Iron
you know,
Man
it's like
fan.
you threw the Mandarin in the trash. You had like it's like it'd be like going to watch Fantastic Four and they go, surprise, Doctor Doom's not really Doctor Doom.
It's just an
You
actor
know?
portraying Doctor Doom. Well,
Yeah.
I like that part though. I like the
I want to throw
throwing
something at the
off.
screen.
Yeah, like
No,
you
I
know.
went there.
Yeah.
I went to see the Mandarin. Okay, I mean they make a big deal out, and then the movie starts off. This guy is like bad. He's so far compared to Obadiah Stane, Loki, and uh, Whiplash. To me, this guy was evil. I'm
No,
like,
I know.
man.
Yeah,
And
Ben
then it
Kingsley
turns
was
out
good.
he's just a joke. I mean, it was a disappointment.
I
I mean,
would.
the movie overall was good. I liked all the characters in it. Well, other than the Mandarin slash
Well, before
Slattery.
we get to that, right? I mean, because that comes in at a point later. Because I want to touch on that later, but I want to go to the movie. Okay. So what in the comic books, I'm not familiar with. So is Maya really did the thing with the plants where like the plants would grow themselves with that flame or
I
fire?
don't remember if there was any plants or not in it. It's the comic books, the extremists.
Yeah.
The extremists. They even made a novel on it. I think the novel has more. I'm sure she was using plants because you can't use live humans. Well, they did use live humans, but this movie also got introduces AIM,
Yes.
Advanced Ideal Mechanics, which actually was a technical branch of Hydra before it broke off.
Really?
Yes, they're villains in the comic book. I think they had. I think there's a cartoon coming out with the character that worked for AIM. Uh, Modoc.
Modoc.
Have you seen that? The comic book for Modoc.
No.
He's that big old giant head, the little tiny feet.
No.
Oh my god.
I have
Okay,
not.
well, most yeah. If you see the comic book, the AIM guys, they're like scientists that try to overthrow governments using technology. They always wear these little yellow hazmat suits with all kinds of awesome guns and stuff.
Huh.
They're a little different than Hydra because Hydra's like Hydra,
Yeah.
and they wear the little green suits. Well, no, these guys wear yellow instead. And they
Oh.
fight people like Spider Man. They fight almost every villain. I mean, they're a villain for everybody.
Oh, okay.
AIM. But see, the thing is, most of the characters are all of these characters they used in this movie. They changed them in because okay, Doc Killian is a doctor in the comic book.
Okay,
He
it's a
appears in
doctor.
the
Okay.
Extremis. Yeah, and I think he tries to steal the Extremis. Maya is the creator of Extremis,
Okay.
and she is the villain in the comic too. She's pretty much in this movie. She would be Killian. Everything Killian does, this is Maya does, and she is an ex-girlfriend of Tony Stark.
Yeah, I saw that in the beginning where they slept together and he just leaving the
Yeah,
next morning.
well, in the movie, she's just a fling.
Yeah. In the movies, it's just a flame. Yeah.
No, in the comic book, she is a girlfriend. She's
Oh.
like a Pepper Potts.
So okay, so in the beginning of the movie, like she hands him something and he did the equation while he was drunk, right? He
Yeah,
just
he did the
never
equation
finished
when
it.
he's drunk. So she knew that he knew how to fix this problem.
Oh, that's
That's why they're coming
interesting.
after him in this movie. They want to hire him, remember?
Yes, they did. I do
Because
remember.
he's smart enough to fix the problem. Because okay, we've already made it far enough. We know the problem is. It overloads itself and explodes. Because remember, Happy's over there playing with the plant. Hey,
Yeah.
Happy, don't play with the plant. She
And then
don't like
explode.
it. She don't like that. And of course, they go in the room and Happy grips that plant.
He
Jerk.
rips the plane and it blows up, and then he dives over Tony. That was so funny. Like you're on top
Yeah, I
of me.
know he does over there. You know what he say? What does he say? Is it Y2K?
It's Y2K. It's not Y2K. You know what's
Yeah, it's
really
like
messed up? Like
Y2K.
I guess because it's in the late '90s for Tony Stark, right? You could tell that he was such a bigger jerk back then.
Yeah,
Before,
well, that was the part. Remember, he was a jerk. Because remember,
yeah,
when we start with Iron Man 1, he was just a jerk.
yeah, he was just
It's
like
supposed
that
to
too.
be. And I mean, that's where the movie starts off. He's talking about creating demons. So
Yes,
basically, the movie's about things he did as a jerk that come back to haunt him.
yeah, it should come back 100.
Because
Yeah,
I mean, in a way, he made Killian. Remember what he did to Killian?
Yeah, he told him
Told
to
him
wait
to
on
go
the top of
wait
the
up
roof.
on the
It's so messed up.
yeah, wait on the roof. Which I've seen in other shows too. Told him to wait on the roof. I mean, does this guy not watch TV? Because he's not coming up there.
It's just the starstruck, right? Like when you someone you admire tells you to
Yeah,
do something, he
yeah,
just
he's
do it.
supposed to be starstruck in a way. Because remember, I like it when he tries to get on the elevator. He goes, "I love your work," and she goes, "Oh, really?" And Tony Stark stops in. He goes, "He means me." Which also there's a line that he says. There's something Tony Stark says, and I love it. Where he says something to him, and he goes, "Damn, bet you."
Yes. So okay. So in the beginning, he narrates this movie. You just never know who he's
Yeah,
talking about, but we'll bring that at the end.
yeah, we
So
bring it
I
up.
like
Yeah,
that.
he's there. Well, basically, he's talking to whoever's listening about the story.
Yeah, about the
Iron
story.
Man 3 is the story he's telling you.
Yep.
Yeah, he's telling you later day.
I
But
know.
we also, what else? We also meet Ho Yunsen, like you said,
Hmm.
because remember we talked about the first Iron Man movie.
On what?
The first Iron Man, we talked about if the guy's name Yeltsin's name
Yeah,
was
Yeltsin.
Ho,
Yes.
because I wondered if they'd keep that because he's not Chinese or Vietnamese.
Yeah.
But they kept it because he goes, I finally met a man named Ho.
Yeah, I know.
But I like it. They kept it, but I thought they threw it out. That's what I was thinking. I thought,
No,
well,
I
maybe
like
they
that
changed
too.
the first name,
Right.
but they kept it.
Yes.
And then they introduced the Chinese cardiologist,
Yes, they did.
which is the thing. From what I understand, they put him in there because this is to get more people in China to watch this movie.
Oh, I think so too. Cause
There's a Chinese version of Iron Man, and it has more of this guy in it, whoever this
really.
actor is. Yes,
So
I
that's a
wish I could find it.
so that's a Chinese cut.
There is a Chinese cut, and all it does is just has a few more bits with this Chinese guy in there.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, because apparently he's a popular actor. I think in China, I don't even know who he is.
Well, speaking of popular actors in China, the person who's going to play the Mandarin, he's a huge actor in Hong Kong.
Who's that?
Tony Leung.
But wasn't he going to play the Mandarin in the first Iron Man movie?
Oh, I don't know. You talk about like this one?
Oh no, you're talking about who's going to play the Mandarin now, right?
Yeah, in the Shang
Okay, see,
Chi.
the Mandarin was actually going to be introduced in the first Iron Man movie.
Really?
They even did the art. I don't think they had anybody in mind, but they did the artwork. If you have the making of Iron Man 1,
Mm-hmm.
the art book, they put a series of Marvel books out making of.
Yeah, yeah.
It has a picture of the Mandarin in it.
Ooh,
So
I
they
did
were
not
going to
know.
do the Mandarin,
Okay.
and then of course, and I had the art book, so I thought, here comes number 3. And they talk about the Mandarin. I'm like, I'm getting the Mandarin finally. Because I'm an Iron Man fan.
Yes,
And
I know.
I didn't get the Mandarin.
So now, like a lot of people, when they don't have like a Chinese actor playing the Mandarin, people get upset. But now I'm not as upset because I knew the point of this movie why they just blame it on another terrorist group. Right? That's why I like, Iron Man 3 is actually pretty good. Now that I'm not so upset about like, this is not the Mandarin or whatever. April Fools.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on. They're making the Mandarin seem like, because when we saw the Mandarin, the 10 rings, because he's the 10 rings.
Yeah.
We were in Afghanistan, so I guess they wanted to go with some Middle Eastern style guy.
Oh, that
Even
makes
though
sense.
the Mandarin is Chinese.
Yeah,
so
the Mandarin's Chinese.
Why is there a Middle Eastern dude using a Chinese name? Doesn't that mean general?
Let's just go on with the movie. So after the I don't know. No, it doesn't mean the general from Mandarin. So after he creates the demons, right? It shows that I guess the events after the Avengers. He's working in his basement.
Yeah. This is after the Avengers.
Yeah. So
I guess they're trying to get us. Well, you can't tell it, but eventually they're trying to explain that he has what, PSTD or what is it?
PTSD. He hasn't slept for like 72 hours. That's what Jarvis was telling him, and he's been working the whole time apparently.
Plus, it starts off with the Christmas music.
Yes, and he's listening to Christmas music, and he starts shooting the stuff on his arm. I guess to
which
remote
is funny.
control.
The thing he's shooting stuff in his arm with looks like an airbrush.
It does,
airbrush.
Right? And then Jarvis keep telling him like the testing thing, and then he just keep ignoring him, right?
Yeah, well, basically, it's like we're starting with Iron Man 1 again.
Yes.
The hijinks he has with building the suit.
Yeah, and what's really funny? I noticed that like I don't think I caught this the first time, right? And then like Jarvis makes a joke. He's like, "Hey, sir, I also made a whole bunch of protocols for you to ignore."
Yeah. Yeah, I made a manual,
Jarvis just say
which
that.
which you'll never will read.
Yeah, like you're just gonna be ignored. I thought it was so funny.
But yeah, but the thing is, the thing is he's shooting himself with is something like we saw in Avengers. Remember he had to wear the bracelets?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So now he has all the bracelet type stuff under his skin.
Yes, so that way it could. I guess he could control it with his mind,
Yeah, well, he could control it with his body movements.
body movements. Yeah, because I thought
But
like
I mean, like I said, the pieces will lock onto parts of his body because of the ID tags that he placed under his skin. Instead of wearing a bracelet, which could be damaged or seen.
yeah, that's what I thought too. That's what he was doing. He kept injecting that stuff with him.
Yeah,
And then
so
and
that's
when
basically.
there was no part where they keep coming towards him, right? And he's trying to catch it, and then
Yeah,
at the end, when
he starts off easy and then he just like, send it all to me.
yeah, send it all to me. Just
Oh,
do
and
it.
then he's like, wait, we need to slow this down.
And then Jarvis didn't. I told you to slow it down, Jarvis.
I like it when he finally gets on the suit. He's what does he say? He goes, "Oh, I'm good," and then that last piece hits him.
Yeah, and then everything
Flying
broken
all over the
apart,
place.
right? And then like Jarvis mocks him again, like as always, sir. It's been a great pleasure watching your work. So it feels like Jarvis is also picking up on Tony's personality. He's acting
I would say because he's programmed with Tony's personality.
Oh, I thought it was.
I'd say he was
funny.
the computer version of Tony Stark.
And you know, it's really funny. You know, I named one of my dogs Jarvis, right? And you know, he's picking up his name a lot. I had never seen him look around so much. Every time when Robert Downey Jr. says Jarvis, my dog would be like.
That dog is like, what is going on? You're gonna have one
name.
confused animal.
Well, so
You probably shouldn't put him in. You probably shouldn't put him in the room when you're watching a Marvel movie.
They're always hanging out while I watch TV. So I know. So after that Mark 42 trial test, right? With the flying parts and stuff. This is the first time we see the TV broadcast with the 10 ring symbol.
Yeah. Well, that's when he says, "Yeah, my day was going good until I turned on the TV."
Yeah. So.
And of course, this is where I see it. And this is where I'm like, all right, this guy is evil, man.
So is it the same 10 ring symbol you see in the comic books? They show it really quick for the first time.
Well, they never showed the 10 ring symbol in the comic books.
Oh, really?
That 10 ring symbol was made. Yeah, there's no such thing as a group called the 10 Rings in the comic book.
Really?
They just did that for the first movie. That way, when you saw it, you thought Mandarin. If you're a comic book fan, you'd go, "Oh, that's the Mandarin's people."
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the 10 rings only exist here. I mean, they call the 10 rings because the Mandarin has 10 rings that he finds in a spaceship. There's a crashed spaceship he finds. It has all these little things, and he uses it. And to him, it's magical rings. But to the aliens, it's just a lot of technology. And it allows them to do all kinds of stuff.
Oh.
And that makes him kind of like a warlord in communist China. And he just kind of hides. And of course, the Chinese, because the communists got to be powerful, they just pretend that he doesn't exist. So they're not weak.
So with that, what you told me, they never showed the symbol, the 10 rings in the comic books, right? Right
yeah,
away.
I've never seen the symbol in the original comic book.
So right away, it tells me this could be fake. If I'm an Iron Man fan.
Yeah, the 10 rings came about just for Iron Man fans. It's just a tease. The thing is a tease to tell you, hey, we're going to get the Mandarin one day. And we didn't. We are now. We're going to get the Mandarin now, but
wow.
Tony Stark's dead, so what does it matter?
Yeah.
Somebody else is going to fight the Mandarin. There is a Mandarin in the MCU.
Yeah, it is. It's in the Legend. What is that? Shang-Chi? Whatever.
Well, they actually made it clear in the. There's a Marvel one-shot, which I don't think you saw.
All Hail the King.
Yes, All Hail the King.
We could talk about that at the end. I did watch it.
Oh, okay, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I love that.
Watch it.
I loved it one-shot.
Yeah. Well, after that little news, took over the broadcast, they show War Machine, right? They show War Machine with a new paint job.
Yeah, it is actually a different suit.
Is it a different suit? I feel like it
is. They
suit.
say it's the same suit, just painted a different color, but the suit is actually different from the suit we saw in Iron Man 2.
Oh, okay.
So
it didn't have that.
But we got to point out the suit is actually I guess the original suit I guess they're going to say it's the suit and it's just been modified, which the suit was actually Hammer Industries suit,
right?
Copied off of Iron Man, copied off of Stark's suit, and then the new suit is just updated by AIM.
Yes.
Which I mean, I don't know about Rhodey, but I think Rhodey should look into whoever builds his suits because the 2 suits he's had have been built by villain companies.
Yeah, it's been by and it's been controlled by the rivaling companies
Yeah, it's
too.
always controlled by the other guys. I'm
He's
like, hey, if you get a new suit, Rhodey, maybe you should just see if Stark is available.
he's always
Like,
like wearing these things. I know, like that's like a trap. Like so that's his that's trap for him. You know,
but here's
that's
the
his
awesome
thing.
thing about Iron Patriot. In the comic books, guess who Iron Patriot is?
Who?
Norman Osborn.
Norman Osborn, really?
Yes. Isn't that crazy?
That
The
is
Green
crazy.
Goblin is Iron Patriot.
Is
In
it
the
because
comic
he's a
books.
scientist?
No, well, I guess he supposedly reforms himself, and he wants to. I guess I think in the comic book something happened to Shield. They're kind of damaged. A lot of things went bad, so he becomes Iron Patriot to save the world. Instead, he's just going to destroy the world. He gets other villains and makes his own Avengers.
Oh, so this is a later storyline, right? That's what you're
Yeah, this
referring
is
to.
in the
Okay.
yeah later on, but it's in the comic books. I mean, he
Oh.
is actually Iron Patriot. Iron Patriot storyline is Norman Osborn. So
Oh.
Spider-Man's villain is
Turn.
actually, yeah.
Oh,
Isn't that
okay.
crazy? We're
It
seeing
is
Iron
crazy.
Patriot in this. Yeah, we're seeing Iron Patriot in this movie, but it's actually a Spider-Man villain.
Wow. Well, wow. I can't believe it. Well, they probably fit it with Rhodey because he's the only on he's always with Tony, not
Yeah, it
always,
makes
but
more sense. I mean, it makes more
yeah,
sense in this movie. It's kind
yeah,
of
it
weird that
does.
you're in the comic book and all of a sudden it's like, Green Goblin's Iron Patriot.
Yeah, it's just weird. Yeah, and
It's
also they had to
weird.
make it work somehow. We gotta put another Iron Man suit in
Yeah,
there.
it's like Lex Luthor becoming the president of the United States. So, I
Yes.
mean, in the comic books, I mean, it made about that much sense.
Okay, so from that, right? It just basically wasn't it Rhodey and Tony watching that on a news story or on a TV at a
Well,
bar?
no, well, they shows it on the news, and then they cut to
They cut
them
to
at
the
the
bar.
bar
Yeah,
talking to each other. They're
yeah.
hanging out at some bar, eating. I mean,
And
and
even
then,
Rhodey knows that Tony haven't slept in a while.
yeah, I mean, yeah. He goes, "When do you slip a while?" But also, Tony giving him a hard time about the suit. Iron
No,
Patriot.
it is so
he
funny.
goes,
Iron
he goes,
Patriot.
of course, Rhodey is trying to tell him, "Oh, well, War Machine's too aggressive."
Too aggressive. It tests really well with the audience or whatever, right? With Iron
Yeah,
Patriot.
right. Yeah, right.
That's another one. Remember in Iron Man 2, there was so many funny like one-liners, right? And then it happens right in this scene where like two kids come up to them and ask Tony for his autograph, right? And then Tony tells the kid that I love you in the Christmas story.
Yeah, that little kid. I do the Christmas story. And of
But
course,
then
this is where we see he has PST.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
right there. But before that, right? And then I think when Tony was trying
because
to
we don't.
find out information about the Mandarin, right? And that's where they point out. I think it hints a little bit into Civil War, right? When Rhodey tells like, well, as you know, it's not a superhero business; it's U.S. business.
Yeah, 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 because he's like, oh, I got all this equipment, I can help you, and he's like,
Yes,
yeah, we don't really want your help.
yeah, we can't because yeah, that's when he said that. I thought it's
Well,
really
he goes,
good.
yeah, we got to seem strong.
Yep. And
Well,
when
I
he
was gonna
mentioned
say,
that, right, that's when he breaks the crayon when he was trying to
yeah,
sign the autograph for the kid, and that's when the PTSD comes in.
yeah, he
And I
thinks he's
thought,
having a
was he?
heart attack.
Yeah, he was having a hard time. So was he dreaming or was he hallucinating when that Christmas kid asked him like,
Well,
"How'd you
that's
get out the wormhole?" Was
I
it?
don't
He
know.
didn't.
That's the thing. I
The
don't think
kid
it
didn't
matters
say
that
that,
much.
right?
But when I saw it at the theater, I thought maybe he's imagined. I about decided that the little kid probably just asked him that.
Oh, because he was interested to know.
Yeah, well, because you got to remember the cartoon. It's the girl drew the cartoon. It's got Iron Man fighting the
Yes.
Battle of New York. So I'm sure the little kid thought. I mean, kids ask all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, they do.
I mean,
They asked
later on
the
in this
most
movie,
inappropriate stuff.
exactly. Wait till we get farther in the movie. The kid asked that one kid. He just doesn't
Oh,
show
I love
up.
it. Yeah, I can't wait to get to that part. So he freaks out when he asks him about the wormhole, right? So
Yeah.
and then he got a little anxiety attack, but we didn't know that. He thought, Tony thought
And
he
I
was having
remember
a heart
me and you
attack.
had a conversation where we pointed out, because Tony Stark's main villain is supposed to be himself
Oh yes,
in a way. But remember in the comic books, it's always alcoholism.
alcoholism, which is still himself. Yeah,
Yeah, but in here it's
PTSD,
or
and I think it's because
PSD. Yeah.
Iron Man appeals to a lot of kids, right? So they probably didn't want to do like the alcoholism. For kids, they probably do it to where like, well, some kids probably could experience, their father have PTSD. so they could probably
Yeah.
understand it instead of alcohol, because alcoholism is such a negative way that Disney probably don't want to portray that.
Yeah, well, they're gonna have to just toughen up. Well, I mean, that's the thing though. Most of the Marvel comics, that's the difference. To me, always set apart from DC. They always tackled some really
Deep
rough
issues, right?
subjects.
Yeah,
Yeah, because like, remember, there's like I've asked you several times about the Cloak and Dagger show they got out.
yeah, I have. Yeah, I haven't
The
watched
Cloak and
that.
Dagger comic book. I mean, I know they got the show, and it's probably like for teenagers stuff. I'm like the comic book. It's pretty rough because I dealt with drug abuse, teen runaways, suicide, and all kinds of other
Oh
dark
wow,
stuff.
wow.
So
Yeah, I think they're trying to light it for the for like,
no,
and
but
I guess Tony would fit in PTSD because he mentioned in the Avengers he's not a soldier, so he's not like you know ready to deal with this kind of stuff, right? Like battling all these aliens and stuff.
well, well, I think it goes back to the part that maybe he thinks he has imposter syndrome.
Oh,
Well,
interesting.
think about it. He's on the Avengers. I mean, he's kind of. We saw how he treated Steve Rogers at the beginning of the movie Avengers.
Yeah,
Wasn't really that nice to him. He didn't. He wouldn't. He didn't treat everybody really all that great. Okay,
yeah,
but I think it has a lot to do with without a suit, he can't do anything. I mean, Thor is Thor. Thor don't need a suit.
yeah.
Thor's
Without
always
so he can do
powerful.
anything.
Captain America, he don't need that shield.
No.
I mean, Captain America's great, and I mean, Tony Stark sees that Captain America's great. He doesn't want to admit it to him. Hawkeye, I mean, all these guys are top notch guys.
Yeah, they know how to fight.
And the thing to him, he's like, without the suit, I can't. He's probably thinking, I couldn't do any of this. He goes, I'm not as good as. He's probably thinking he's not as good as these guys, even though he is. I
That's
mean,
why he's trying to be
but here's the
prepared.
thing, yeah, Tony Stark's been used to being number one, the hero. He's Iron Man and all this stuff, but now, in a way, he's like us. He's the man in the suit, but he's like us. These guys are heroes to him.
Oh.
I mean, come on. He loves Captain America now.
So okay, so it makes sense that he's creating all these
But it
suits,
also
right?
has one more point I want to go to.
Okay.
Remember in Iron Man 2, he always tries to do everything alone.
Yes.
Remember when he has that thing in his chest burning out, and then Rhodey comes up to him and goes, "You don't have to do this lone gunslinger thing."
Yes.
That's the problem. He thinks he's got to be the person that saves the world. And I think in this movie, around this movie, because of his anxieties and stuff, I would think, what was it? What was the the Hulkbuster?
Yes.
I would say that was one of the suits he builds we don't see.
Yes. Also,
Because it's in
you know what?
space.
I was gonna bring that on later when it's in Avengers, the second one, the Age of Ultron, and I think ever since Avengers, right? He building all these stuff because he's suffering from PTSD.
Yeah.
I know, like I actually have a friend that suffered from PTSD, right? And safety is a huge priority with them. You know that? Like
Yeah.
every time they enter a building, right? In their mind, they have to know how quickly I can get out.
Yeah. I think that goes for a lot of people, though.
Yeah, it does. So me and Cody talk about that, like like oh, he's I don't want to say the name. This guy is really concerned, right? And then me and Cody talk about like because he has PTSD. So every time we're in a building, right, he's always thinking about like what is the the way I can get out of there in case some stuff goes down.
Yeah. Well, I think a
It's,
lot of people do that.
it
I
is,
mean, I don't go. I want to know where I can get out
well,
of a
that
building.
too, but I'm not like I won't say uptight, right? Like I'm OCD too, but like that's on
Yeah.
another level. And when I see that in Tony Stark in this movie, like
Yeah.
he had these protocols. And remember, he had that nightmare. I know we're jumping way ahead, right? When he had that
That's fine.
nightmare, right? The Mark 42 showed up right away because he thought the computer, the AI, thought Pepper was a threat.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, it's also his mind. Yeah. Because I mean, it's the body movements. It must read his brain still too.
Yeah.
Because in his head he was fighting aliens.
Yep.
So.
But so let me get back to the scene after that kid freaked him out, right? You know what I
Yeah.
really
He
love
runs
about
up.
that scene when Rhodey told him he needs to leave, right? I love how when he outside the bar, he parked the Iron Man suit like a car.
Yeah. I know. That's what I love. Just sitting there next to all those
Yeah,
motorcycles.
he goes he fucking
He
like a
just
car.
jumps in it like it's like he jumps in it like you said, like a car and just flies off.
And
And then he goes home.
that's when Tony asked Jarvis to run a diagnostics to see if he's having a heart attack, and then you could tell like Jarvis runs some tests like, hey, sir, to me it looks like more like an anxiety attack, and even Tony was like, anxiety attack me. He couldn't even believe it.
Yeah, couldn't believe it.
And I
But
think
then
next scene, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we need to go ahead to whether we see Stark Enterprises.
Yes, I was gonna go straight into that because I wrote notes, right? So I have I keep better track of what I want to talk about, and I like wait when they go to stock industry, right? The first scene is like as soon as Happy shows up, people are uptight, like oh my god, we gotta get back to work. Like he's not even that
Yeah,
department,
yeah, no, I love Happy.
and he's like Batch, hey you Batch,
Yeah, Badge. Hey, come on! I left a memo in the toilet.
yeah, no,
And of
no,
course,
about
he
it,
wants to
guys.
talk to Pepper Potts
Yeah,
about getting rid of HR. He
yes.
wants to replace him with the robots that Tony Stark's got set in his house. He's like, they're not doing anything. They just wear party hats.
And I like how she pointed out, like, there was a little comedy scene too when she tells him, like, since I promoted you to the head of security, right? Complaints have gone up 300%. Like,
You know,
and
it's
that's
just
not a
like, that's a
compliment.
bad thing. He's like, that's a good thing. He goes, people got something to hide.
Ah, that was just
And then, of
such a
course,
funny
she
scene.
has to go to the meeting with, and
Yeah,
this is when we get introduced to the new
new
Killian.
Killian, yes.
I like it. What did you do to yourself? Well, 5 years at the hands of chiropractors
Yeah,
could do wonders for our body.
that's really weird, right? What he said, because even in that scene, I know, like, oh, I think she was meaning Killian because she made a remark like he's always trying to ask me out, like, and he seems like the kind of dude, right? Like,
Yeah.
the
Well,
homeless
I mean,
looking
come
guy.
on. Everybody knows a guy like that.
Yeah, everybody, the creepy guy.
And then, like, years later, we meet that guy again. We're like, huh, should have been nice to that dude. He's got all kinds of money.
Yeah, I know, right? He comes up. So I mean, I guess the meeting is because she needed, the stock industry's help for with that technology. I
Yeah.
really
Well,
like that though, with the inside of the brain, the way they could look inside.
yeah, it's like, that's a stretch.
Well, it's a stretch. Oh yeah, I don't think in our lifetime we're gonna be that, but like just the idea of that, like you can
Well,
see the
yeah. Well,
nerve.
I say there's people on this planet working towards stuff like
Yeah,
that,
well, good
mapping
for
the
them.
brain and so forth.
Yeah.
But hey, we see what happens when people do stuff like that.
Yes. And so while they were talking, right, I guess Happy is outside, still looking. He look as that Killian's bodyguard, right? We don't know his name at the time. I'm just
Yeah.
assuming he's a bodyguard.
Well, yeah. I mean, his right hand man. I'm gonna
Yeah, right
say.
hand man or somebody that works with him, like Barfoot
Yeah.
Jack Napier.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Well, this guy's name's Seven. Was it Savin?
Saving or something. I wrote it down,
Yeah.
but
Savin.
because they didn't say his
Which,
name until later on in the
well,
movie.
he's a character. He's a comic book character too.
Oh, extremist.
Uh, yeah. He's like an ex-military guy. I forgot what his importance was. He wasn't an extremist. He wasn't an extremist comic book. He appears in another comic book. Most of all these extremist characters all appeared in comic books as other characters. And some of them were Marvel villains. I think he became a villain, a super villain of some sort.
Maybe well, I think they add on to tricking the whole audience that Mandarin's not real. Like just having all
Yeah.
these people like this is who they want
Well,
you
they
to
got the
think they
Marvel.
are.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though. They got the Marvel universe to mess with,
Yeah, they do. They have
and
all these
so
characters. Well, while during this scene, were you
yeah, this
looking it
guy
up?
actually. That's the thing. That Savin,
Yeah.
he actually became a cyborg to fight Deathlock.
Wow.
You know who
Deathlock.
Deathlock? You know who Deathlock is, right?
I have the comic book
Oh,
cards.
Agents of Shield.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
his name was Cold Blood.
Cold Blood. Okay.
Yeah, and I think they have a lot to do with AIM
Wow. AIM.
or
I love
Ultratech. Yeah, well, they're all company made
Yeah.
cyborgs. So yeah, this guy is actually a Deathlock villain.
Oh.
He's not now.
Well, he's not now. Not after this movie. So
Yeah.
so after when we're talking about like Pepper and Killian's meeting, right? And then Happy sees the guy, and he remembers Killian from the New Year's Eve party back in the '99.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
when he
yeah,
calls
because we
Tony.
get that because Tony Stark calls him up. Remember, Tony
Was
Stark
it
calls him
he
up.
called Tony's or Tony called him?
No,
Yeah, he called
Tony called him.
Oh, Tony called him.
Remember?
Okay.
Because he keeps trying to figure out how to work the iPad. And he goes, yeah, director of forehead security.
Yeah, for security, because he looks at it weird, like hello.
I know he keeps telling him to turn it around. He goes, I'm not a tech guy like you. I don't
Yeah.
know how to turn it around. And of course, we see Iron Man sitting in his lower shop, which is a wine cellar,
Yes.
tasting wines. I wouldn't mind having one of those.
Yeah, I know, right?
With Iron Man suits underneath it.
And what did Pepper say? Like, Pepper said something to Killian that, Killian tells Pepper that he did meet Tony 13 years ago, and you could tell there was like a sales thing because
Yeah.
he's trying to ask her instead of him.
Yeah, that's the only reason he showed up because
Yep.
he said he thought she would have more vision than Tony.
Yeah, than Tony. Yeah, because it's a
Less
different
ego.
leadership.
Yeah, less ego than Tony. But of course, you got to think Pepper is running the company because she has a little more brains. I mean, she's not a genius, all right, but she's more savvy.
More savvy, yeah.
Yeah, it's like she told Killian that she could see this being turned into a weapon.
Yes.
I mean, basically, the extremists will make you a superhuman.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because we see the guy breathes fire, they heal their body parts back. Wolverine almost, but they breathe fire.
But yeah, it's different. The body's heated.
Because in the comic book, Maya Hansen makes extremists because she is trying to make another super soldier serum.
Oh.
So now we got 3 people that's making super soldier serums in a way. We have Brute Banner. He gets hurt and turns into Hulk because he's made a super soldier serum. And then, of course, the extremists because super soldier serums.
Oh, actually, if you haven't watched The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they kind of are doing that too in that series.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah. I mean everybody is, right?
That's actually, in a way, that's almost what the Marvel Universe is about. Is everybody's been trying to do make a Captain Rogers.
Captain Rogers, yes.
Yeah, everybody wants to do Captain Rogers 100 years later, and they haven't all been able to do it.
Nope.
Maybe if you get the extremists and then you radiate yourself with gamma radiation, you'll be okay. I don't know. Or they'll turn into the Red Hulk.
Okay, well, let's go on back to the movie. So after that scene, Pepper goes to Tony's house.
Well, I like to see though, because Killian talks to her, and he kind of kisses her on the cheek.
Oh.
And then Happy walks up. Whoa, Happy!
Yes. Yeah, that was before Happy took a picture of their car. Yeah.
Yeah, he takes a picture of the car. He told Tony Burger because I'm gonna follow this guy.
Yeah, you're gonna follow this guy.
He's
Yeah.
a shifty-looking guy.
Talk a little bit about it's not a big deal, right? But Tony's asking her are they going out for drinks or something? It's just a little scene to carry, so he can make a remark on the next one.
Yeah, because we can't tell that Tony's actually jealous, but he is. And then she drives up to the house. There's a giant rabbit in the front of the house.
Yeah, that was a rabbit right before that. Man, how big is this thing? Is this like a 15-foot bunny that's outside?
And we walk in there, and there's Iron Man sitting on the couch.
On the couch, I know.
I'd say Tony Stark wearing the suit, but it's not.
It's not. It's because I think Pepper was saying what is that, Smoke 15? And he's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Well, you see the number, it's 40. What is 42.
it? 42. It's 42. I think 42 is a big thing in this movie. It's always 42.
Huh.
I'll touch on that later.
Okay. Right? Yeah. I didn't notice anything like that.
And so. I think Pepper already knows that he wasn't in the suit the whole time.
I don't think she does know that.
You don't think so? Because she hint about kissing him on the cheek, right? And he's been messing with grease or something. He's trying to make an excuse to get out of it.
Yeah, he tells her he can't get the helmet open, so she should just kiss him right on the faceplate. Yeah. She goes I'll go downstairs to get a crowbar.
Yeah, a crowbar. I thought she was just doing that on purpose, like she knew he's downstairs.
I don't know, because she wasn't upset till she gets down there and sees him.
Oh, you don't think so? I thought she was upset, just
Yeah, because she didn't seem upset, because she walks down the stairs. She walks down the stairs with him following her, and then she sees him on the. Doing push-ups.
Yeah, doing push-ups, working out.
And then she gets up and she gets all mad and like it because he's talking to her. He's like, so I thought you were gonna go out for drinks with Killian.
Yeah, with Killian. Yeah.
And you see that suit? That suit is there's nobody in the suit, but the suit looks at her like, what?
There's somebody there.
She looks at the suit. She's like, oh, you're looking.
Yes, I like that little scene before Tony gets real with Pepper. So you know there's something wrong, right? But like you said, Tony lets you keep things to himself. Yeah. And that was when he opened up, nothing is the same since New York, and she kind of know that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you notice the artwork in his new room. You see all that stuff that he's got down there?
Yeah.
You see that wadded up cars? All the cars from Iron Man 2 are all wadded up.
Yeah.
Stuck right there. It took me until the second to today to figure out what that was.
Oh, really? I didn't know what that junk was.
I didn't know what that junk was until today. When I looked at it again, I realized there was all those cars that are erect.
Yes.
Wadded up. Well, it reminds me of some artwork that it was in a Speed Racer, the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. which we should talk about one day.
Yeah, I remember me, you, and Cody went to see that. It was
I
I
like it. I actually like the movie.
I don't remember much of it actually.
Oh, okay. Well, I was a fan. I'm still a fan of the movie. I think the movie was good. But so now we know that Stark's got all kinds of problems, and he's worried about Pepper.
Pepper, yeah,
His goal is just to save Pepper,
to make her to save, yeah, and
which was always kind of his goal in all the movies
yeah,
since he got out of the cave from the Ten Rings. He's been all about safety, safety,
safety,
safety.
yep. And then
And I mean, of
they
course,
just keep adding on too, like
well,
his thing on the
yeah.
chest.
Well, it's actually kind of a problem that's going to haunt him in the next Avengers movie.
Yeah, so let's not get
Somebody's
into
gonna,
that, but yeah,
because somebody's going to hark on that and lock that in
yep.
and run him to his death.
Well, right now we're going to the
Come
thing
on.
that I just talked about earlier. He had
Yeah, we
nightmares. He
see
was
the
sleeping,
nightmare.
and then the Mark 42 grabs him, and he made him
Well, it
stop.
didn't grab him; it grabs Pepper.
Oh, grabs her Pepper, yeah.
And then, of course, he does his little point at it, and it falls apart on
Yeah,
the
it falls
floor. I'm
apart,
like,
and then it's just
you
like,
know,
I'm
it
sleeping
suck if
downstairs.
you're fighting some supervillain, and your suit just falls off.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that suck?
it does stuff, but like, the Mark 42 falls apart a lot in this movie.
Yeah, it does. I
Yeah,
mean,
I thought it was really weird, but then Mark 42 is another one of those that's not ready for battle too.
well, yeah, it's like, yeah, I'd say it's like those other suits that we've seen. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, he's constantly making new suits.
Yes,
And that's
constantly.
we forgot to say that when he goes to the wine cellar, we see the suit go down into a room full of other suits.
Yeah.
Because you normally see the main suits, but I mean the suits is a big deal. Since we're already up to 42, we still haven't seen any of the other suits.
No, we haven't seen the. I guess maybe from like 8 to 41 or something.
Yeah, and like I said, that's why I think the suit that the Hulkbuster's up in space around this time.
Yes. So,
Which
well,
doesn't make, which is weird to me that he'd make the Hulkbuster since him and Banner are such good friends.
see, I know, but then is that Tony doesn't trust the Hulk? That's
Or
why he
maybe
made the
it's,
Hulkbuster.
or is it because we actually see, we might as well just go say it. At the end of the movie, you see Bruce Banner.
Yes.
Do you think that they maybe collaborated?
Well, yeah, I think so. Oh, for the
I would
Hulkbuster,
think
yes,
so.
I do.
Because I don't think, because to me, Iron Man is not Batman. There's a Batman comic book where Batman learns everybody's superpowers and he beats them. I would think Iron Man would be up front with everybody.
But also, since they work together, right? This is what I'm thinking. Since Banner and Stark work together, he even in Stark invited Banner like, oh, you should come up to my tower sometime. We got all kinds of stuff. You're gonna love it. And I think they collaborated because Tony likes to be safe, right? Now, especially after the Avengers, and Bruce Banner knows that he can't even control the Hulk.
Yeah.
So they have already the same mindset there. Like, how if this happened again, right? What are us two gonna do about it? Because they stand on the same and they stand on the same side when they both question what is Nick Fury up to?
Exactly.
They're trying to
But
control that.
here's something else I want to throw at you. How about Edith? Do you think Edith is built during this time period?
Wait, who?
Edith.
Oh,
the glasses.
Yeah, even
I don't think so yet, because I don't think his glasses do that yet. But I would think it'd be close around this time period.
I think he built that after the blip.
Nah, I don't think he would build Edith after the blip.
Or somewhere before.
Because Edith doesn't seem like something he would be. Now, I would think it would be either before the second Avengers, or right after the second Avengers.
So probably right after he met.
Because Edith is supposed to be built for in the case that he dies, and since we're thinking he's already in the point where he thinks he's going to get killed.
Okay. Well, we're getting way ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, but I just want to, because we're going to have to eventually come back to this.
Yeah,
because
we do.
when we get to Edith, we're going to have to come back to this movie.
Yeah, we do.
In a way.
I highly agree.
Because the people working for him know about Edith.
Yes. Oh.
So at this time period, we already seen one of the scientists or disgruntled scientists that works for him.
Yeah.
We also got to think all these other scientists are working for him right now.
So what you're saying is Tony always have a contingency plan?
Yes, always. Because, I mean, think these things just set in space. So they wouldn't be part of his suit collection. They're Stark Enterprises.
Yeah, it's Tony's collection in this case. Even
Edith. Because, I mean, all the suits, there are kept in his deal, but the Hulkbuster would be something he'd keep in space, and so is Edith. It's just more space equipment.
Right, and I'm thinking like since it's consistency, right? Because his deal is always be safe. So
Yeah,
whatever can happen, like maybe at that point when he built Edith, he doesn't even know about Spider-Man yet. He just needs to
yeah,
know
he
that
does, and I don't think he
someone needs
does.
to take it
Yeah,
over.
because I'm thinking Edith was mainly probably to protect Pepper Potts,
Yes,
and Pepper Potts probably oversaw Edith.
yes.
If anything, she's the one that sent it to space,
Okay.
probably. Who knows when?
Even deaf, I'm the hero. The first time I heard that, it was so funny.
Yeah, and I mean, I just want to point it out because it is an important part in this movie.
Yeah, it is. It
Because
is the
it's
consistency
this
from the
idea that
PTSD.
he has was be still creating defensive weaponry,
Yeah.
even though I mean, because
Oh,
they're still making
interesting.
weapons. Stark Enterprise is still making weapons even during this movie.
Oh yeah,
Probably
yeah.
not probably more defensive stuff.
Defensive stuff and more monitored.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, well, I mean, Pepper Potts is now running the company, so and we could already tell that she is more responsible. I mean, she's not Obadiah Stane,
No.
so
Wow. Okay, let's go back to the movie. So now we're at the Chinese theater, because
yeah,
Happy's keep what is it? Happy's following the seven
yeah,
guy.
he's
You say
keeping
his name?
yeah, he's keeping tabs on Savin,
Yep.
and Savin meets Taggart,
Taggart. Yeah, the one of our soldiers, right? Like a
which
marine or something.
Taggart is also a comic book villain. Forgot. Let's see what he was.
Wow, there's a lot of stuff in this one I didn't
Oh
know.
yes, there's. Well, they just like, put these guys to the kind of made them other guys. But uh, yeah, Taggart. Taggart's supposed to wear a super suit too. He's an Iron Man villain. He's a mercenary Jack Taggart. Let's see who he's supposed to be.
Well, how did you like did that? Like they kill them off so fast.
Well, yeah, well they do that in a lot of, but that's the thing. They always do a lot of villains. It's real big villains. Okay, like Daredevil. That old man Owlsley. He's
Yeah.
the Owl.
Oh yeah, yeah. You told me that. Yes, I
They
remember.
don't even. We never see him as the Owl. They kill him off. There's the Gladiator. We'll never see him as the Gladiator. We'll just see him as this other guy. I mean, they've always put all these other little guys in,
Yeah.
and they kill them off before they even become anybody in the comic books.
I wonder why that is.
I don't
Maybe they
know.
couldn't.
Because,
Maybe
well,
they
because
couldn't
it takes so
develop a
much.
good storyline for them.
Well, it takes so much money and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like, man, there's zillions of people in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, I know
A lot
there's
of these
so
people,
much
almost,
material.
that's the thing. Most people that they have talking parts in the Marvel movie are somebody else in the Marvel universe. They're either a villain. I mean, they just like, right now, they're just like, oh, we got so many people. We'll just use their name. We'll throw their names out and then kill them off.
Like
Yeah,
Deadpool.
Taggart gets the Taggart is like a villain. He's not a big villain.
Oh,
He's
so
like a little
okay.
bitty villain. He's just a mercenary. Some company tries to destroy Stark Enterprises, and they use him. He wears a super suit, and he fights Iron Man.
Oh, so it's just a little. Cause okay.
But in this movie, he's an extremist junkie.
Yeah, he's a swimmer's junkie. You can get that right away, like when they So there's a quick scene, like it looks like he's dealing drugs, and that was the first time Happy saw Seven that burned. Well, he noticed the other guy is burned too, and then he couldn't like they had a fight scene, and then Happy
Yeah,
is
they have a
not able
fight
to
scene
do
because
yeah.
he's like, hey, I saw you with your little junkie girlfriend over there. Of course, he tries to take that from Happy. He goes, and of course, Happy tries to punch this guy. It's like he punches him right in his face, and it is no big deal.
Yeah, it's no big deal. He just heals, like oh.
Yep, yep, got that Wolverine stuff.
Yeah, and then it just the Taggart guy explodes. It's just so
Yeah, the
weird.
Dagger guy explodes, and then somehow Happy survives
Yeah,
barely, but
barely.
they
Yeah, but
killed
yeah.
everybody else. It burns everybody else up. And of course, here comes that Savvy guy, all burned up, and he walks across there and he steps on his dog tags and he
Yeah,
starts
still like
going
his dog
back
tag.
up.
He just like he shakes it off like nothing's going on. He
Yep,
just
and he's
crosses the
chewing some
street.
gum.
He just crosses the street like, okay, whatever.
Yep,
It's just another Tuesday.
yep. And then we go to Happy in the hospital.
No, not yet. They have
Oh,
another Ten Rings podcast really quick. He compares
oh,
the
okay. Well, they do
fortune
all
cookie
that.
to America.
Yeah, well, they got to do that because the broadcast takes credit for every explosion, where
Yes.
they had anything to do with it or not, which makes you wonder in the real world, does terrorists actually do that?
That's the thing. I think every time that happens, right? Like the Killian is trying to cover that up, and
Yeah,
that's why he created the Mandarin.
yeah. Well, he does it, and he just wants to put. Well, he can use the fear from an accident. They're all accidental explosions, and he just used the fear, saying, "Oh, that's a bombing."
So what do you mean by does terrorists do that? Like, does terrorists take credit for it, or does
Well, in
something
real
go
life,
wrong,
terrorists, when there's a bombing, terrorists really take credit for it. But I'm thinking
whether they did it or not?
whether, and some of them, I think they do.
Oh
If
yeah, some
something
of them they
happens,
do.
like let's say something happens in the United States, it's clearly there's some nut job doing something.
Hmm.
Terrorists go, "Oh, we did that. We
Yeah,
set that guy out there," and you're thinking, "Hey, that guy was just a nut. We got like a million nuts in this country."
yeah. But some people believe it. I think that's the card they're playing, right?
I think some
And then
people do.
yeah,
Some people do believe it, and all that does is causes more fear. It makes these
yes.
guys more fearful. It's like, "Hey, we can get in your country and reach you,
And
even though
that's
they
what
can't."
killing it is banking on.
Yeah, that's the thing. Killing wants to make it look like the Mandarin can actually get anywhere in the country.
And then at the same time, he can cover up like these accidents because they know it's not stable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he knows. Yeah, people can't regulate, and they got a problem.
yeah. So yeah, that's the problem. And I think that's how Killian like be able to carry this on without like there's people mysterious people blowing up all the time.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's actually to draw people away from making that connection.
Yeah, making the connection, yes, to drive them away. That's the theme of this movie too. You think the Mandarin's there, right? They're drawing your attention away. That's why I thought it
Yeah,
was so brilliant. Like, oh, now I'm not so upset that the Mandarin's not there anymore.
yeah. I still don't think it's that brilliant.
Yeah, but like but that's the whole point, right? Like, oh,
Yeah, that
we
was the whole
expect you to
point.
be
Yeah, I
there.
get that. I
I
get that
do like
part.
it
It's the
though.
point. It's the point. But it's also what made the movie suck.
Yeah, I know, but I do appreciate more after I understand that point better.
Yeah, because I mean, it was a great movie. It was filmed. Everything was good. I mean, I
Yeah.
liked the kids, all the characters. But we go to the hospital now.
Yeah, we can go to the hospital now.
Okay,
Tony
where we see
Happy is in the
Happy,
hospital.
which actually, because did you think? Well, do you think Happy was going to get killed though?
Oh,
Because
so
Happy gets killed in the comic books, so that's why
I didn't
some
know
people.
that, but I thought that he was going to be killed because I think, oh, maybe that's why Jon Favreau wasn't the director. So
Okay,
that's
yeah. So
another
see, I wondered.
misdirection.
I mean, we saw it. Yeah, I thought, well, maybe he's going to get killed too.
I did too because, like, oh,
Because,
why
like I
didn't
said, he
Jon
does
Favreau
get killed in
direct this one?
because he does get killed in the comic books.
Yeah, I think that's
But he
they
also
knew
marries
that
Pepper
too.
Potts. He also marries Pepper Potts in the comic books too. So
Oh, he does? Oh, I
yeah,
didn't know that.
because Tony was never there for Pepper, so she gets married to Happy, and then Happy gets killed, and Pepper comes back.
Oh, okay. That's very
Yeah,
interesting, though.
that's it's,
I do like
it's
that.
very interesting.
Well, since we're in the hospital, right? I do like that. Tony makes a remark to the nurse about the badge. you know,
Yeah, please
he's
wear the
really
badge.
uptight
Please
about
wear.
that, so you want to make sure you wear your badge,
Well,
even though he
also
doesn't
like
work
it,
there.
he's like what is it, Downtown Abbey?
Downtown
Every
Abbey.
show, he thinks it's elegant.
Yeah, he thinks it's elegant. That's why they have that show on. Like he loves it. He loves this show.
Yeah, because you're gonna turn it off, and then
And
of course we get Tony walking out in the parking lot.
yes, walk out of the parking lot, and that's what he made a threat to the terrorists. I loved. I'm gonna name this episode after that line when he say, "My name is Tony Stark, and I'm not afraid of you."
Yeah, well, it's kind of weird though, because I was wondering who's the guy with the cell phone. Apparently, he wasn't anybody, I guess.
Well, I think a lot of reporters use their cell phones, even to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just wondered if the character was significant to
Oh,
the
I thought
story.
about that too. I don't think so because they never said his name. They never touch on him again.
Yeah, they never showed it again, and
Yeah.
maybe he was working for the Mandarin. Maybe he was an extremist soldier.
Yeah, maybe.
He gets killed later on. We don't know. Well, we know is Tony Stark grabs his cell phone, slams it into the
Yes,
wall.
like Bill me. Such a jerk.
I thought that was
I like
awesome.
what's really funny when he said like my name's Tony Stark, I'm not afraid of you. He gave his address, right? He made it personal, on
Yeah,
national TV. Do you remember the guy we worked with before, Mo?
yeah, I remember him.
So one time it was me, him, and Rachel. We went to Houston to see a soccer game, right? This is what happened. That night he got drunk, not too drunk, right? And he started some stuff with some people. We were at the hotel, right? And he literally did the same thing, okay? Yeah, my name is Mauricio Ciceros, right? And
Yeah.
I'm staying in this hotel right here, like room 1345. I'm like, holy crap, this is a hotel room. It did the same thing. It reminded me of that fuckers that happened to me in real life.
Yeah, but you didn't have helicopters blow up your
I had
hotel
no
room, did you?
helicopters. I have no Iron Man equipment. I just have me, Mo, Manuel, and Rachel. We all stay in the same room. Like, dude, you can't be making threats like that, man. That's our hotel room number.
Yeah, come to a hotel room. This is where I'm at.
But
I'll
then
be waiting for you.
when he made that, like, when he gave out his address, right? I'm pretty sure like a lot of people probably know where Iron Man lives anyway. In
Yeah, I
that,
mean, you could have
yeah.
looked it up on the internet because he's famous.
Yeah, he's famous. I know. It's like Hollywood, the Hollywood,
Yeah, that's
maps of
probably.
Hollywood. Yeah.
I've heard there's somebody on the corner selling a map to his
Yes.
house too.
Yeah, at that Chinese theater corner.
Yeah, it's probably like, over here's Tom Cruise. Go up the street though, you'll see Tony Stark.
Yeah. And you know what's really cool? The scene right after that, they get back to the basement with Jarvis, right? That was the part that reminds me
the doorbell.
Batman. Yes, the doorbell. Not even that scene, but like when he start looking at the crime scene, right? It reminded me of Batman. Like he's doing detective work. He's trying to figure out
you're right.
who bombed or what happened to Happy.
Yeah. So yeah, in a way, he's down in his Bat cave.
In his
Stark. Cave. He's down in his Stark cave with his butler Jarvis. Instead of Alfred. And he figures it out. But I like that because he's figuring it out. He's basically, because this is also important scene because they find that the earliest bombing or supposed bombing is in Rose Hill, Tennessee. And he tells Jarvis set a course.
Oh, I know. He says set a course because he wanted to investigate it.
Because if you weren't paying attention, because if you weren't paying attention to the scene, you don't know why he went to Tennessee.
Oh yeah.
Escaped,
I figured that right now.
And then of course the doorbell goes ding dong. Goes what?
Are we still on ding dong?
We're in lockdown.
I threatened terrorists on national TV. We should be on security lockdown. That was so funny. He sees it so casually to Jarvis, like, what are you doing?
And of course, he puts his Iron Man suit on to go into the door. Which is funny.
It go back to prove your point earlier when you say, like, because he's not a superhero. He's nobody without the suit. So he has to answer the door with the Iron Man suit.
But this is also a thing about the nobody about the suit is also relevant to a Spider-Man movie.
Really?
Remember? Because he becomes somebody without the suit. And then he passes that on to Peter Parker.
Oh, yes.
Remember? Because Peter Parker wants a suit. He tells him, hey, Mr. Stark, I'm nothing with a suit. If you're nothing without the suit, you don't need a suit.
Yeah, you don't need a suit. Yep.
So, yeah, basically what we're seeing here, he's going to pull with Peter Parker in the future.
Yes. Yeah,
so Peter Parker has to go to the Home Depot and buy a bunch of crap to fight crime.
his red hoodie.
Yeah, but I like it because Maya Hansen's at the door.
Yeah, Maya's back at the door.
And he gives her the illusion that he can't remember her name.
Yeah, he can't remember her name. I like that when she walked past
that's the thing, though. He remembers her name.
I like that when she walked past the lobby. I guess they have a lobby, right? In this mansion. That Bunny is there. Like that
I'd have a lobby in my mansion.
That's just very important to show that Bunny in that shot when she walked by. Like, did you guys buy this?
Well, he has a long driveway too. You know why? If you have a mansion, you have a big lobby and a long driveway.
Yeah.
Because you want people to take in all your awesomeness as you're coming to their house.
Yeah. So it also give you time to put on the Iron Man suit to answer.
Yeah,
the door.
You get the Iron Man so you can answer the door and say, "Hey, guess what? I'm Iron Man."
And then like Pepper comes in the scene and they were all arguing. No, only Pepper and Tony was arguing.
Yeah, and of course Maya's just standing there like, "Is this real?"
Yeah, and then she watches the TV.
Best thing, though, I like the line, though. Because please don't tell me that you got a 12-year-old kid in the car.
Oh, I love that.
No, he's 13.
He's 13. Because,
he's like, whoa.
That was pretty funny. In all of this seriousness, he makes a little joke about that.
But yeah, I like the joke, though. The thing is, though, she keeps making the expressions like he doesn't know her.
Yeah.
And she's a little upset. But he knows her because he eventually says her name. And then it's like, I knew your name the whole time you're at my door.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Pepper's wanting to get out of town because he just threatened a terrorist.
And
they're arguing. Yeah, like you said, they're all arguing. And, of course, she says, is this normal? Is that big giant rabbit normal?
Oh, yeah, is that big giant rabbit normal?
And Tony's upset because Pepper doesn't like his present.
Yes.
And then I like it when she looks at the TV. Is that? We have to worry about that.
Yeah, the missile is flying through.
Yeah,
right?
Because they have all those news helicopters all around the deal, and then they all open up, missiles coming out of them.
Yeah, missiles coming. Like even in that scene, you know what I thought? I thought those people were out to get Maya, not instead of Tony.
Yeah, I thought that too. I didn't think she was a villain.
Yeah,
when she shows up at the house Yeah, I don't think she's a villain. I mean, I didn't think she was a villain at that time.
Yeah.
Because really, in this movie, she never really was the villain.
No, she's just like
She's just she's just the girl that came up with a good idea, and she sold her soul to this company to
yes,
just to get something done.
I agree.
And there's a lot of scientists like that. They want to get something done, and they you know change their ethics to get something done.
I know.
Then
It
they feel
just
bad about it later on.
yep.
Huh.
So well, like let's go to the action sequence now. The missile hits the building. Well, hits that what is that? That
The house.
balcony inside house. Yeah, the house,
Yeah,
right?
what do they say? Well, the balcony slash garage area of the house that hangs off over the ledge.
Yeah,
of,
over the ledge of this
Malibu
mountain.
Point.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that's when the first time we see Tony able to control Mark 42, and he puts it on Pepper.
Yes.
Yes.
We see what the whole thing about it locking onto people is.
Yes,
he
I
does
love that.
Whatever, literally flipping somebody off.
He does that, the action,
Yeah.
that pose.
Yeah, and it goes all over her, and he still slams in the wall.
Yeah.
And she gets up, and then of course the ceiling's gonna fall on him, and she blocks it.
Yeah, she blocks it.
And
Yes.
she's like the superhero now.
So it's like what you point out before. It's whoever can be Iron Man, because whoever controls the suit is Iron Man.
Yeah, because the suit is Iron Man.
Yep.
I mean, in a way, Tony Stark points out throughout the movie, because I am Iron Man.
Yeah, I'm Iron Man.
The best line though, most of the time, is goes, "You know my name."
Yeah.
He doesn't actually ever say I'm Iron Man in this movie. Really, he goes, because I am. Oh, you know who I am.
Yes. But he said that to the kid later when he go to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she saves Maya. Of course, she drags Maya across the ground.
Yeah.
See that? She can't figure out how to bust the glass out, so the boots just go on. And then, of course, he yanks the suit off of her,
Yeah.
and he goes back on him. Which
right
is cool.
after Jarvis tells him that she's outside the perimeter, the building perimeter, then he
Yeah,
called the suit back to
he
him.
just kind of does the same. The suit comes back to him.
And then he was
Like
trying
a
to
sweater,
attack
you
the
can trade it
helicopters, but
between
then
people.
Jarvis tells him that the suit is not combat ready. So he thought of some stuff like to shoot these things right at the helicopter. Oh, he picked up a motorcycle or something, right?
I forgot what he shot. What didn't he shoot a piano out
Oh,
at
he
him?
shot a piano.
He shot that piano that sits there out at him.
Because it's a thruster. It doesn't blow anything
Yeah,
else. So
he
just
uses the
throws it out there,
repulsor.
so he can
Yeah, he
shoot
uses
it at the
repulsor
thing.
technology to shoot that thing out there.
Shoot
Bust
the-
the helicopter
He
off.
threw a piano at a helicopter.
But I remember that I remember watching it in the theater. You're watching the whole house just fall off in the ocean. All those cars,
Yeah,
the little robots
yeah, I
done.
know. All those cars,
Like,
everything
what a
falls
waste.
in the ocean. I was like, man, that's
Why
a
would
sad
you
thing.
tell people to bomb your house? I mean, you could have used somebody else's house. You could tell them where Thor lives or Captain America or
He
something.
gave
They
his
could just pick out
address,
a little
okay? He
apartment.
deserved it. He's the one who threatened the terrorists to say, hey, this is where I live. Come and get me.
I know. I mean, you think he'd go give an address, and turns out that's where Captain America lives or something. You should have told him where the Avenger Tower was.
You know what I really like when he got stuck under the water because all the debris was falling on him under
Well,
the
yeah,
water, right?
where the house falls on him.
Yeah, when the house falls on him. I like when Jarvis figured it out, and he told Tony to take a breath so the arm can come out, right, and then pull him. I thought that was so cool.
I like it. I like that scene too in a way, but I also question that scene because I'm like, wouldn't that glove maybe rip his arm off?
I don't know if you can control the settings, right?
Because the glove comes off his hand, right, and then it grabs him by the hand. I mean, you got that heavy suit on you, a house, and it's trying to yank you out of the suit.
That makes sense. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, shouldn't the glove grab the other gloved hand?
Hey, you know what? You don't question science fiction, okay?
I question science fiction all the time.
That's why it's science fiction.
Yeah, I mean
it does make sense, but I thought
makes
it
it more
just
interesting.
calculated to where
it makes more. It actually makes it more interesting to question science fiction sometimes.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
we'll
why not?
Day, okay?
I mean, come on, because like the question about Thor's hammer in an elevator, can the elevator go up? Well, duh, of course it can.
Because it's not.
The elevator's not a person.
It's just that you can't pick up the hammer, okay?
Yeah, you just can't. A living being can't pick up the hammer.
I want to bring up a quick question. I want to go back to the Future 1 when you want to question science fiction. Remember that photo they were holding, and then every time his kids would disappear, right?
Question that photo. I have that photo. What are you talking about?
No, I want to talk about when he does something wrong, his siblings would disappear.
Yeah,
so the first thing to disappear is the photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but the problem is the photo can't disappear, or you won't know that you're messing up.
Okay, so that's the thing. Like, so are you telling me someone took a picture of nothing?
Yeah, well, probably. Hey, that's what's so great about Polaroids. Okay, I mean, if it was another type of photo he would have had done at like a shop or something,
Yeah.
it would have disappeared first. But since it's a Polaroid, the Polaroid
Okay.
camera is still going to be invented.
Right, but then who took that picture? Because his hand was disappearing, but the photo is still there. That doesn't
Well, I
make
would
any
think it was
sense.
one of his parents took that picture.
Of nothing.
No,
Like
of
if
a
there was
well.
nobody there.
Well, there could have been. Those people would have formed later after certain people got together.
Yeah, but then let's just say if they didn't get together, right? The picture shouldn't have been there.
But somebody was going to get together. It would have probably been Marty and his mom. So Marty took that picture.
Okay. All right, let's get back to Iron Man. So he flew out the water, right? So he fell asleep, and then the Jarvis just took him
Well,
to
he passed
Tennessee.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, he passed out. So Jarvis just took him to Tennessee because that was his flight plan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to think Jarvis already glitching anyways.
Yeah, he's glitching. Yeah.
So I mean, the
Do you think it
obvious
was from
choice
the
was,
water
hey, let's go to
damage?
Tennessee. Yeah, let's go to Tennessee.
Do you think it was water damage? Because the water got heavily into the suit.
Well, I don't know, because here's what doesn't make sense to me about Jarvis. Jarvis should have been a system that's in everything that he owns, Stark owns. So let's say, because Jarvis is supposed to be in the computers that sits in Stark's building. You know, you always see those sun systems sitting
Uh huh.
against the wall. That's Jarvis, or at
Oh,
least that's supposed. The only reason I know this Jarvis is because I don't know if it said it in any movie, but in the arts of Iron Man,
yeah.
it shows those computers, and somebody's supposed to make those computers fancier, and that's supposed to be Jarvis.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is, now that we see it when he's flying away, Jarvis is in his suit. But from what I understand, Jarvis should have been like a system that's in the Stark Tower. It's in the
Oh, it's in
house.
everything. Yeah, in
So
the
he should have
AI.
been able to access Jarvis from anywhere. But when he flies away, it's like Jarvis is in that one suit. But I'm like, Jarvis is supposed to be in everything.
Well, because he lost connection, right? So that way they can tie in the
That's
communication
what I'm
between
going to
them.
say. I'm going to say it was the suit had a connection problem. And that's why he's not reaching all of
Yeah,
Jarvis. He may got a little bit of Jarvis.
yeah. It just whatever in that
Because,
suit that was
we could
yeah,
fit like a little. I mean, you could fit a system like Jarvis on a little tiny chip now.
yeah.
He just can't
Interesting.
access the internet, so he can't get the rest of his information.
Yeah.
And of
So
course, he almost hits that pickup.
he did, right?
Slams
I
into
thought
the
he was gonna
ground.
hit it.
Yeah, and I'm thinking those people. I mean, it was almost a Superman scene. They're probably got
Yeah,
out
it
of
was
the
a
pickup. They're
Superman
like,
scene.
"Hey, we're gonna find a little spaceship with a little baby in it."
It's just like it's a grown man in a metal
Yeah,
outfit.
but of course he flies all the way through the woods.
Yeah, he fly all the way to the wood, like, and then he got out before Jarvis shuts down.
Yeah, well, yeah, Jarvis basically tells him. I mean, it's supposed to be basically the scene was. I mean, we're talking about Jarvis being in the suit, but actually the scene was just supposed to let us know that he's not going to have Jarvis to back him up now.
You have to back him up
He's
because he
alone
needs to
now.
stand up.
He is alone.
And he carries the suit around. He makes a
Yeah,
phone
he's
call.
dragging that suit around. Yeah, and he has to steal off a blanket off an Indian,
Yeah, so a wooden Indian.
a wooden Indian.
I stole a poncho. That's what he said. I
Yeah,
just stole a
steals that
poncho from
poncho.
a wooden
And then
Indian.
the neat thing is, though, he calls into his private server and lets Pepper know that he's
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
But everybody thinks he's dead.
Oh yeah, that's when he finds that shed.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, everybody thinks he's dead now.
Yeah, because the kid comes in with the potato gun. I love that kid when he's like, yeah, he's trying to tell him what is wrong with his potato gun. Then he shot it like, oh, now you're out of bullets. And then it's so funny. I like the scene where he asked the kid, right? So who owns the shed, and he's like, well, my mom just left for the diner, and my dad he left for lottery tickets or something. But I guess he won because
He
that was
never
6
came
years
back.
ago.
And I like
Like funny.
I like what Tony says next.
I
Go
love
ahead,
what
dude.
Tony
Come.
said. He says,
Yeah, because
well,
he doesn't even
which
care.
happens, don't be such a pussy about it.
Yeah, Dad. When he goes, yeah, Dad's leave.
Don't be
It's
such a
okay.
pussy about it.
And he goes, I like to tell him what he goes to. He goes, I need a tuna fish sandwich. We'll do a little body work
I need
here.
a laptop. I need a digital watch. I need a cell phone. The tuna fish sandwich is the one that's so funny. Because he had a great conversation with the kid, right? He's like, he talks to him about like what's his name. He's like, what are you talking about? The kid who bullies you at school. How do you know that? And then he give him that little that thing from the Mark 42 because it's not combat ready, so it's not a lethal weapon. It's just like
Yeah,
a
well,
flashbang, right?
just a flashbang.
And then so he's like, "Do we have a deal?" I said, "The deal, right? Hey, you know what I'm thinking about right now? I'm thinking about where's my sandwich."
Yeah, I
This
like
scene
it.
was so quick.
The scene is really good because the kid goes like, "Oh, that's Iron Man." I
Yeah.
like it. He goes, "And who are you?" And he goes, "Well, I'm the."
Technically,
What do
I'm
you
Iron
say?
Man.
And he
He's an
goes, "Well,
Iron Man.
technically, you're dead." He shows up the newspaper.
That presumed dead. So I guess he's been flying for a while, right? The newspaper came up really quick. I can't tell how much
Well,
time that's passed.
I don't remember how much time went by. Not that much time, but I mean, it would have been big news because you got to think there's all those other news helicopters that
Yeah,
weren't.
those that seeing the bum. Yeah.
They recorded the whole incident with Tony Stark getting killed. Because remember, we even see the scene where they're reporting Tony Stark's dead.
Yep.
Because they showed the house all destroyed and stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
First, I like but we gotta go back to the kid breaking the Iron Man finger off. He broke that finger off. But I do like he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." I like he goes, "I'm sorry." He goes, "Are you?"
Are you? It's okay. I'll fix it.
Yeah, fix it. Yeah, I like it. He calls Tony the mechanic.
The mechanic. Yeah, because like, is that what Tony calls himself? Like, I'm the mechanic.
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah.
I guess he could be a mechanic. I mean, we saw him work on cars. I mean, come on, if you could build all that crap, we might as well be able to work on a Model T Ford.
Yeah. I just love that scene with the kids so much, you know?
Yeah,
it's so cool. Fast, and it's just like, where's my sandwich?
Yeah, where's my sandwich?
And then it just go back.
Yeah, I think it's just like he's kind of like, he's liking the kid, but he's also kind of like acts like he just doesn't really care.
Yeah, he doesn't care, yeah. He's just there for himself.
Yeah, but he's not.
Yeah.
So of course Pepper Pot, is it where Pepper Pot gets the message now?
Yeah, she gets the message to go back to Tony's house, and then she picks up Maya.
She finds Maya, and then she starts talking to Maya. It's like, so why don't you come to our house? I mean, come on. And Maya's like, of course she calls Maya the botanist and
that's why I called her that too earlier.
Yeah, because I mean, come on, she doesn't really work with plants. She works with stuff, but plants are easy to work on. Because I don't know about you, but have you ever tried to inject like some random human with crap?
No.
You can't because they get all upset. But plants, I inject plants with crap all the time. They don't get mad. They die, but they don't get mad. I mean, come on. I do experiments on plants all the time. Or ants, because they don't complain either.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're around.
And
people,
and mice.
People get a little upset. Now, mice, you got to feed them. They're like people. They get upset too.
You know what? Before we get on the movie, I think some scientist somewhere, right? They trying to make a medicine to get you antidepressant. So they test it on mice, right? So you know how they get the mice all pissed off? They teach these mouse how to drive, right? And put them in driving scenarios. And the study shows that, dude, mouse get road rage too.
Oh, well, that brings me to this. I want to point this out too. This is another scientific thing with an animal. It kind of annoyed me. These people got bears to go get on treadmills at an incline, and here's what the scientists decided: after the bears didn't like get on the treadmills, they're like, bears don't like going up hills just like people. I was like, that's what you got? I think what you should have got is bears don't like to exercise just like people.
Yes. That's what I was like, bro, no way.
Yeah, it's like a bear gets on a treadmill. A bear can see the treadmill, and they're like, this is a hill?
Yeah.
The bear doesn't think that treadmill's a hill. He thinks it's a treadmill.
It's like, no, I'm not working for nothing.
Exactly. Hey, and some better news, I wonder why we got COVID. But hey, we know bears don't like to go up hills, and rats get mad when they have to drive in traffic.
Oh, all right, let's get back to it. Is this the part where Pepper knows that Maya works for the Mandarin or Killian?
Well,
yeah, Killian.
She tells him, she's like, who's your boss? And he goes, Killian.
Yeah.
Because she thinks Killian, she tells Killian's working for
the Mandarin.
Yeah, right. That slattery guy.
Yes.
Or Tony starts saying, hey, Ringo.
Yeah, Ringo.
So they go to the hotel. And then we go back to the kid, right?
Do we go back to the kid, or we go back to the scene where they're making another Mandarin video, and this one was actually longer.
Oh yeah, this is where they're going to do the Mandarin thing again.
Yeah,
because they got to do the Tony. They got to tell about Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And this is where we go to the president, and here's where we hear about Roxxon oil again.
Yes. I
Remember,
noticed as a
talked
son.
about Roxanne. And Roxanne's mentioned all the way through the Marvel universe.
Yeah, even Daredevil. Like you told me in Daredevil 2, right? Was it 2?
Yes,
Yeah.
Daredevil 2. Daredevil. Well, actually, it's mentioned in the first one too.
Yeah, like the end of it, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't a big. No, it's mentioned when they're work for another law firm, they're supposed to protect.
Ah,
They're
yes.
suing somebody.
I do remember.
Remember? And they did the Roxanne. Of
Roxanne
course, we've
Law.
seen it in Iron Man 1. We see the Roxanne on a side, big banner on a sign that's on a building. We see Roxanne peppered through it. And it's like the comic books. Roxanne's a big company. It's supposed to be like Exxon is.
Okay.
But
So what?
Roxanne produces lots of villains and heroes, too.
So what you think about that video of the Mandarin killing that guy on camera?
Well, he didn't kill that guy.
Well, I
Come
know,
on.
but they did that for shock, right? Because they want the president to call.
You know what all I got out of that shot after seeing it, after seeing like Daredevil and then seeing this now, I'm like, don't be an accountant for Roxanne. Because remember in Daredevil 2, that guy that was being used and his son got taken away from him?
Yeah.
He was an accountant for Roxanne.
Yo, that's right.
So if you're an accountant for Roxanne, you got problems.
You're gonna die.
You're
That's
gonna
funny.
die.
That's
But I
a
did
good.
think the scene was pretty good. Because the scene was good. Because remember, he calls the president.
Yes.
And the president's trying to figure out how did he get his phone number
In
my
his phone. Yeah, I know.
Which we figure it out real quick.
Yeah.
Later on in the movie. But the thing is, and then of course the president's never supposed to talk to terrorists.
No.
But again, the president, they're like, don't call him. The president's like, this is the right thing to do.
This is the right thing to do. I know.
And he calls him, and he still shoots him in the head.
He still shoots him. Yeah.
I like it how he says it. That he goes, if you don't call me, I'm going to shoot him right in the head.
Yep. But then he shoots him anyway.
Yeah, he shoots him anyway because he wants to show him that he has power.
Because
he doesn't answer the phone. Yep. He just wants to show you, I could make even one guy, I could make the president beg for his life.
Yes.
And then I'm going to shoot this guy, and he can't do nothing about it.
And I think that's the one where, like, I think that's just a trap to get, because the president orders the Iron Patriots that he wants, the Mandarin.
Yeah, this is part of the trap.
Yeah.
Because, they want to get the Iron Patriot suit now.
Yep. So
of course, it's the second one, because, the first one that Iron Patriot goes to, was wrong, too.
Yeah.
But that was called in by the military.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So we're getting ahead of it.
Oh, yeah, he was in a cave, right?
Yeah. Well, no, he goes into another building in Pakistan.
Yes.
But we're getting way too far ahead.
Yeah, wait. No, not the building in Pakistan. Iron Patriot finds a cave, I think.
He never goes in the cave. He never goes in the cave.
Oh yeah, I'm getting ahead of it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I got the plots messed up.
Yeah, but okay. Do we go back to the kid? Right.
Yeah, go back to the kid. Yep.
Okay, we go back to the kid, and this is where he's asking that kid about this soldier.
Yep, the soldier.
And he takes him over there to
the shrine, right? Like where the guy supposedly
where you see the five. We see the five. Actually, ash burned into the wall to see people.
Yeah.
They say shadows, but it's actually your ash burned into a wall.
Yep. Yeah, I noticed that.
So the other guy doesn't get a shadow. Of course, Tony Stark's like, and this is what I like about Tony Stark, and it's not really pointed out. He goes, yes, the kid goes, is that what you think? And the kid goes, well, that's what everybody says. He goes, but no, he's basically wanting the kid to think for himself.
Yes.
Because Tony Stark is wanting to point out that guy, one guy, he didn't get a shadow. He didn't get a shadow because he was evil. He didn't get a shadow because he's the one that blew up.
Yeah.
So there wasn't nothing left of him to be put on the wall.
Oh, I know.
But he's trying to get the kid to think for himself in a way. Because most people don't. Somebody tells you something and you go, okay, yeah, that's got to be true.
I know. The news is like that. Do that all the time. I know.
Yeah, something stupid like that. I mean, because he's thinking, all those people got a shadow because they went to heaven. He's like, no. But I like it because then the kid sits down. He goes, "Hey, you know what this looks like?" Remember when they're sitting in the hole, the crater in the ground?
No, what did he say?
He goes, "Hey, you remember what this looks like?" And Tony's like, "No." He goes, "I don't know." He goes, "It looks like that wormhole in New York." Remember that?
Oh, that's right. That's why he got freaked out again.
I love that. He goes, no, and he goes, are you freaking out? He goes, are you kids? Are you doing it? No. He goes, are you no? And then he goes, oh my God, you freaked me out and get something.
That was the first time that kid freaked him out.
Well, yeah, because you remember that kid kind of puts his tongue out. He looks at him, and that kid goes,
yeah.
He sticks his tongue out.
Yeah, so he stopped freaking out by the light post. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, Oh yeah, we gotta put out the watch. Remember the watch?
Yeah, the Dora the
Door
Explorer watch.
watch. He
Awesome.
goes, it's a limited edition. That's my sister's.
Yeah, that's
He
like
goes, oh, I thought for some reason, what do you say? His sister's like 5 years old or so.
He said a digital watch. I got you a digital watch. It's nothing like this, but it's a digital watch.
But anyhow, the next scene is, well, the kid tells him, he asks that kid, he goes, so where would I find that soldier's mother?
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, she's where she's always
Yeah,
is.
she's always is. Yeah.
And then I like it. He goes, now you're starting to think.
Yep.
And is this where we go back to Pepper Potts?
Is this where they capture her? I didn't write this part down.
Okay, I think we can shoot over to Pepper Potts because next we see Pepper Potts and Maya in the room. Of course, Maya's trying to explain her by using the Brahm story about the rockets, how science is. She's pretty much telling her story, really.
Yeah.
Is what she's telling. And
Oh,
of
yeah,
course,
I remember this.
yeah, you know, because Brahm made the V2 rockets, and then of course he's a Nazi, but we overlooked that so he could be in the United States space program and send the rockets to space for us, even though he didn't really produce. But then we see the knock at the door, and Killian just breaks that guy's. Yeah, Killian just broke that guy's neck. You see that? It's like, I'm like that. When he was a nerd, he couldn't do that.
No, yeah, I know.
He probably does it for fun now. He's like, yeah, I'm strong.
He's got the power.
Yeah. Well, we also got to think that he's probably not a nerd because you remember he says, she's like, what happened to you? He goes, oh, at the hands of specialist stuff. This is why I look so good. Yeah. I bet you he looks so good because he took the extremists.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the extremists fixed him because he was crippled kind of.
Yep. He grew everything.
Now he's not crippled at all.
Yeah, he's not crippled at all.
Of course, it didn't make him taller because if you notice when he's standing on the table with Pepper Potts, he's shorter than she is.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, she's wearing heels, right?
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Well, Gwyneth Paltrow.
That's what all short men say.
Yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow was really fit for this movie.
She's usually always fit.
Yeah.
Of course, she's got to wear the sports bra and kick a missile into Killian's face. So I'm thinking to do that, you're going to have to be pretty fit. But of course, Gwyneth Paltrow is always a fit.
Yeah, she's always fit.
That's kind of her. Isn't that like her line? She sells Goop. Isn't that kind of her deal? Is health, wellness?
Oh, I don't know. Is it? I have no idea.
I don't know why I even asked you that. Yes, her thing is all about wellness and health. Okay.
She's no ScarJo, so I have no idea.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Okay.
She probably can't kick you in your face and then hang you and pepper spray you.
We'll see what happens. Alright, so is this the part where they took Pepper?
We won't see what happens because nothing's going to happen.
This is the part where they took Pepper, right?
Yes, and then they take Pepper. Remember, she yells at Maya to run. Of course, Maya walks up there, and he's like, "Why did you go to the house?" And then we realize Maya's in with this guy.
Yes, yeah.
So Maya is kind of a bad guy.
Yeah, Maya's a kind of bad guy. Well, she works with Killian, so.
Yeah, well, she's a bad guy. Yeah. Come on, because she didn't try to help anybody.
No.
She just wanted to try to get Tony Stark on her side so she can get the whatever's the fix the extremists.
The extremists, yeah.
Yeah, because apparently they still have a problem with extremists. Yeah. I guess they have to take injections or something to keep from blowing up.
Yes.
So that's probably what the problem is. And Tony Stark's supposed to fix it where they don't have to take injections anymore, and the extremists is just.
It stabilizes them, yeah. So are we at the part where he goes to the bar and meet that soldier's mother?
Exactly.
Yes.
We're going to the part where we're at the bar. He goes to the bar. Yeah, he walks in the bar where he bumps into that girl.
That girl, yeah, she's cute.
Which she's also in the comic book. She's the Man Thing. You ever heard of the Man Thing in the Marvel universe?
Yeah, but I don't know much about it.
She is the girlfriend to Man Thing.
Oh, really?
She actually betrays this, I guess he's a professor or I don't know, a scientist or something. Yeah. She betrays this guy, her boyfriend, to AIM, and they turn him into Man Thing.
Really?
Yes, and he comes back, and I guess he kills her, or AIM kills her.
Wow.
So she is the link that creates another MCU character that we probably will eventually see. I think we'll eventually see Man Thing years from now.
Will you think so? Okay, we'll see.
I don't know. I mean, why not? I think because we're going to have to see Moon Knight.
Yes.
He's kind of a lower, and he's not like a well-known. I mean, I know him because I read comic books, but if you don't read comic books, you're not going to know Moon Knight at all.
No.
You didn't know Moon Knight until I told you about him. See?
I mean, I see him in the comic book cards, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, he doesn't really. He only had like a few series, you know. He has a series he'll run. He's like Punisher. He'll run for a while, then he'll go away for years, and he'll pop back up and get a series of maybe 50 issues.
Oh, okay.
But he's an interesting character, and we get to see his show eventually, and then we
Yes,
get to talk
eventually.
about it, which is gonna be awesome because I'm
Yes.
like. And oh, by the way, he's Poe Dameron
Ho Damon.
from Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
The actor. I didn't say the actor's
Yeah,
name.
the actor's name. Oscar Isaacs.
Exactly, it's
Yeah.
Oscar Isaacs, but it's Poe Dameron.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so
We're at the
So
bar.
he goes in the bar. Yeah, he goes. Well, he tells the lady he's got a nice haircut because what are you going to say about the scars on your face? It's got to be nice. He goes to the bar and he meets the other soldiers, the first soldier's mom,
Yeah. And she
and
just
she
gave
was
him a
apparently
file.
yeah. Well, apparently she was sitting there waiting for the other AIM people
Yes.
to get the file. There's no telling who she was really talking to because it puzzles me because that lady walks out of the building. So apparently she wasn't the one. It was well, maybe she was going to get the file. She just couldn't find them. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's kind of weird, isn't it? Weird that he bumps
It
into her.
was.
She comes out of the bar. Why didn't she get the file before Tony? Because
Yeah.
Tony just got there. Or maybe she's walking down the street. But anyhow, he goes to the bar. Of course, you see the sheriff sitting there drinking. He's got a gun and he's drinking.
Yeah, that was the first person that he saw. I thought that was so
Yeah,
funny.
apparently the whole police department of that town was there drinking,
Yeah.
which is okay, I guess. I'm cool. You want to wear your firearms and drink? I mean, I don't know how you're going to do your job.
It's not
And of
up to
course,
us as society.
but he meets the mom, and I like the mom because he tells the mom, he goes, "Your son didn't kill Noah."
Yes.
He's trying to explain to the mom that you shouldn't feel because the mom just goes in there and drinks all the time.
Yeah.
Apparently, and then of course the lady comes up and tries to arrest Tony.
Yeah, she said she was Homeland Security, right?
Yeah, she tells him Homeland Security will be good here, and of course the sheriff's like, "No, we're not good here. I'm gonna have to call this in." And then she burns a hole right through the sheriff.
Yeah.
He gets the deputy's gun standing behind him
Yep.
and shoots the deputy.
That's
He
crazy.
grabs the shotgun from some other Yahoo. And of course, Tony Stark, the file goes up under the table, and
Yeah.
Tony
Well,
Stark runs out the door.
he looks at her, and then she kicks it under the table.
Yeah, well, she
Yeah.
kicks it on the table. And of course, he runs out the door.
To
Well,
get the attention away.
He's got those handcuffs on. Of course, that's when when the smart lines come out.
Yes.
When he falls on the stone next to that guy down on the curb with the Christmas tree.
He's like, it's crazy, isn't it?
The guy's kind of like, yeah. Because you haven't seen nothing yet. Jumps to the window.
And then he jumps to that glass.
And of course, he's waiting for it, and she pops up right in that room with him.
Yeah, she does, right? She got
Well, we also forgot because remember Savin shows up too.
Yeah, because the boy sees him.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he's about to shoot him, and then that kid throws that snowball.
Yeah, the snowball at him, and he's hiding behind the light post. Or the post, whatever it is. Yeah.
Then we go to the scene where Tony's trying to burn down that kitchen, with he pouring all that oil out.
Yeah, oil, and then he let the gas go and put the dog tags in the microwave.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and she also burned his handcuffs loose.
Yeah.
But also, there's a good line in there. What did she say? All you're gonna give me is a cheap, what is it? Cheap line, a one-liner.
Oh yeah, one-liner. Yep.
Yeah, and he goes, "Yeah, that's the title of my book."
Yeah.
And then he blows her up. And that's the thing. The only way to get rid of those extremist people is to blow them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta blow them all up. Because then he jumps out in the alley, and that's when Savin's got that kid.
Got that kid, and I think Iron Man. Well, Tony was trapped under that water well.
Well, yeah.
Right?
Well, that's the thing. He runs out there and he melts that water tower, and it falls on Tony.
Yep.
And then, or parts of it fall on Tony.
Yeah, which miraculously there's no body injury, just got him stuck.
Yeah, he just got stuck.
And that's when Tony reminded the boy, like, "Hey, remember that thing I told you, the pinata I told you about?"
Yeah, pinata for a cricket.
Yeah, pinata for a cricket.
Yeah, and he flashes that guy in the face, and of course Tony Stark had a repulsor on his hand.
Yeah.
Blast that guy. Pow. And the deep thing, and then he gets the file, and he gets in the car, and he's going to leave, and that's where that kid comes.
He just left. He talked to the kid again.
Yeah, I like that where the kid's like, it's like, yeah, he goes, "You shouldn't be so grandiose like me. You shouldn't be so grandiose like me. Just play it off cool, kid."
Yeah.
And of course the kid's like, "So you're gonna leave me just like my dad did?"
Yeah.
And of course Tony's like looks at him, "Oh, you're trying to guilt trip me."
He's trying to guilt trip, and he's like, He did that made this work? Nope.
Yeah.
And he just drives
Yeah, I like it.
off.
Well, I like it because he does that kid, get out of the way before I run you over.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, by the way, you better be by the phone when I try to call you.
Yes, because he's depending on that kid to charge up Jarvis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, Tony takes off now.
Yeah. Now we get back to the scene with my notes where the scene is like Iron Patriot finds a cave.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he doesn't go to a cave. He just goes in a building.
There's some kind of building, right? I just thought it was a cave.
Yeah. Well, it was he got misinformation, so he goes in that building, and that's all in Pakistan. And of course, there's all these guys standing around. And he's like, freeze! And his phone rings.
And then Tony calls him. He's like, can you give me a second?
Yeah, can you give me a second? That's Gotcha just got to stand there. He turns. He starts talking to Tony. He goes, he didn't answer when he says, hey, was AI, because that's when he knows AIM redid his suit.
Well, yeah, because that was when he was looking to the notes in the car while he was driving. When he figured out is instead of missing in action, it's actually AIM.
Yeah, AIM. And then he goes, yeah, it's his suit.
Yep.
So he calls Rhodey. He goes, so what's
your login password?
Your name? Yeah. So he goes, what's your login? He goes, yeah. What was it?
War Machine
68. Yeah, I think it was War Machine 68.
Yeah,
and he's like, yeah, what's your password? He goes, I got to change my password every time you hack in. He goes, it's not the 80s anymore. Nobody says hack.
Yeah, nobody says hack, yeah.
And I like it. He goes, it's War Machine Rock.
All caps.
All X. Yeah, and of course that guy, that Pakistani guy laughs. The machine gun comes out. And then he drives by the, what is it, Chattanooga bikini contest for Christmas.
The bikini contest, right? And that's how,
it's also where we'll see our Stan Lee.
Yes, our Stan Lee cameo.
Yeah, where he's a judge.
He's a judge. He's so excited about giving that the score of 10. Yes, it was really quick though. It was really good.
Yeah,
this when Tony broke into that news van.
Yeah,
or
so
TV,
he can get
news van,
so he can get the internet link.
Yep.
And see what's going on with AI.
And then that guy shows up. He's like, "Oh, Mom, I heard you call you back."
Some magical's happening. Dude, like it. He's like, can you see that I patterned my whole self? I see I don't have that gel in my hair. Like it shows the tattoo. Oh, I gotta show you my tattoo.
He said, "What is that? Hispanic Scott Baio."
Like Johnny. And that's the thing, because it says Johnny loves Chachi.
Yes, Johnny loves Chachi.
Because I like it when he goes, Gary. It goes, Tony needs Gary.
Yeah.
And Gary needs Tony.
That is so funny. Yep.
And of course, then this is where we learn about the extremists.
Yes.
We get
so
to
they
see
kept the data files inside Iron Patriot? Is that what I'm getting?
No, they didn't keep it in the Iron Patriot. He was able to hack in using what Iron Patriot's technology. He's probably go through their. He probably went through the suit to get into their server.
Oh, okay.
Because you got to think the Iron Man suit's probably like his Iron Man suit pulls Jarvis in to the suit
to figure out data. Yeah.
So somebody was able to get an Iron Man suit. They can get into all his servers.
Oh, okay.
So he jumped through the suit and went into their servers, and that's where he got all their files. And we get to see that guy blows up.
Yeah, that guy blows up.
They're talking about like indigestion.
Well, they also show that lady that he blew up earlier too, because she was missing a limb.
Yeah, she grew her arm back. Remember, she saw screaming, and he's like, "Whoa!"
Yep.
I just killed that lady.
Is this right? So after he watched that, is that the one where we watch Iron Patriot hunts down more? I guess these cells?
Yeah, well, they send him to the next place. We see Iron Patriot. He remember they call it into another place.
Yeah.
And he goes, I hope you're not making another mistake. No, he lands in there and he frees all those ladies. He goes, okay, you're
they were
free.
making like free cheap like sweatshop,
Yeah, they're making sweatshops. But I remember he goes, yeah, they're all thanking him, and he's like, yeah, you're free.
Yeah, you're free unless you wasn't before.
But he also calls in. He tells he goes, I think you made another mistake like you did last time.
Yeah, but
and of course that one lady grabs him.
Yep.
And lights him up, shuts his suit down, and then of course he has to say, she goes, we're gonna take your suit. He's like, yeah, you'll get the suit when you pry my cold dead body.
Yeah, about it. That's exactly what.
So like she goes, that's the idea, Colonel.
Yeah.
So now AIM has Rhodey.
Yeah, AIM both Rhodey. So Iron Man needs to. Well, Tony needs his suit back, so he calls the boy, right?
Yeah, he calls the boy. He's had him eat those Smarties candy.
Yeah, how much have you had?
You still see straight?
Yeah.
And he goes, then you're okay. Keep eating them.
Yeah. He asked him to help him reboot, and then Jarvis not at capacity yet, right, for power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's also, his speech skills messed up.
Yeah. Yes, his speech
Which I'm
skills
thinking,
messed up.
his speech skills shouldn't be messed up because he's in a server somewhere else.
Well, because he's not.
We know he's in a server somewhere else because we saw Avengers 2. Remember?
Well,
he's
we
in all
haven't
those
come to
servers.
Avengers 2 yet, so for all we know
Well,
right now is messed up.
I don't know. Well, the writers who was writing this movie should have known.
Okay, so I think that point was to like, Tony is nothing without the Iron
Yeah,
Man
it was.
suit.
It was just to show us he's nothing without a suit.
Yeah, because he has another anxiety attack.
Yeah, he has an anxiety attack, and that's where that kid's like, "Hey, are you having an anxiety attack?" I didn't even mention New York.
Yeah, I didn't even mention New York. Yeah, it's not really New York. It's that he knows that he's nobody without his suit.
Yeah, I think all it really is that.
So
because he pulls out the road, and what's the kid say? Hey, Tony, why don't you just make something?
Yeah, make something. You're a mechanic, right? Why don't you just make something? And then it calmed him down, and that's when he go to Home Depot to buy all that fertilizer stuff to make explosives.
It didn't really ever say it was Home Depot.
No, it's just a hardware store.
But we know it's Home Depot. Well, we know it wasn't Lowe's because they weren't wearing the right colors.
Yeah.
Everything was orange.
It was orange. It's just associated with better for home improvement stores, okay?
But yeah, anyhow, he went to a home improvement store, which now we know you can go get superhero gear at a home improvement store. Well, we always knew that. I mean, come on. Anybody who's ever built any cosplay knows you have to go to hardware store to get
so you call it superhero gear, right? And I just thought, like, because the scene follows that. It's just basically like an infiltration gear, right? Like,
well, he's got a hoodie.
Yeah, he got a hoodie. He bought Christmas ornaments, so because
I bet you he didn't get the hoodie at the. He probably didn't get the hoodie at that store. He probably had to go to Kohl's or something.
Like a Walmart.
Yeah, Walmart. We're gonna name a whole bunch of stores just for the hell of it.
But the most important thing is like they had to show the hardware store because he bought.
Well, that's where you get your main gear. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. You order most of the costume stuff from somebody else, but if you want like guns and hardware and fake swords for your cosplay, you gotta go to the hardware store.
So, the next thing goes straight to like he infiltrates. Is it a mansion? What is that? Like,
it's like a compound.
Yeah, it's a compound.
Mansion compound.
But it's
it looks kind of trashy. Yeah, he's in Florida, by the way. I've got to mention that he drove from Tennessee to Florida.
Yeah. So like he's just able to use his DIY projects to take down like guys with guns.
DIY projects. Yeah, because he's got what was it? One of the bombs was a Christmas.
Yeah, it's a Christmas ornament.
He throws it. Boom.
He makes out like a shotgun with his glove.
Yeah, he shocks the crap, and he shoots a guy with a nail gun.
Yeah, he shoots a guy with a nail gun. I like that, like, he knocked out one of the dude fell in the fountain, right? And he shot him a couple of times with a nail gun.
Yeah, then of course he breaks in the house.
He found some Mandarin with hookers, obviously.
Well, first he finally gets a pistol out.
Yeah,
he gets that pistol. Yeah. He takes out that one guy and gets a pistol. Of course, the girl acts like she's shooting at him.
Well, yeah, the girl was high, and I like it.
Because everybody in that house was high, dude.
Yeah.
Then he goes to that bed, and like you said, he finds those two other chicks. Yeah. We don't know they're hookers, so don't be saying it.
Okay, they're not hookers. They're party girls.
Come on. It's Florida. You find girls everywhere.
Oh, okay, sure. Like, yeah, I guess not. They're not hookers. They never say they are. It's a Disney movie, okay? We don't say hookers.
This is a Disney movie. Yeah. They were princesses.
It's a Christmas movie, okay? It's by Disney.
Yeah, so they were princesses. We don't know which princesses.
Yeah, we just don't know. It's just the one that in the background.
A soon-to-be-announced movie. I mean, but anyhow, he's like, hey, where's the Mandarin? And of course, the guy comes out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy comes out of the bathroom, and you're wondering. Because up to this point, I thought this guy was the Mandarin.
Yeah.
He comes out of the bathroom, and he's like, hey, don't go in there for 20 minutes.
Yes.
I'm like, what? I'm like, what is happening now? I'm like, something is wrong with this Marvel movie.
Yes. That's when obviously the audience at the same time with Tony, they find out he's just an actor named Trevor, right?
No, yeah, that's when we find out, but I was still in denial at the theater. I was like, this guy is like good because now he's acting like he's an actor.
Oh, that's good. I thought he was a Mandarin too until you saw that, like, what the heck's going on here?
No, after that, I just decided, well, maybe they're going to show us that this guy, it just looks like the Mandarin, and the real Mandarin is going to show up at the end of the movie.
Oh, okay.
So I had hope. After this, I still had hope till the end of the movie.
Threw you off, yes.
But yeah, we know this guy is like Trevor Slattery. I like it because he goes, they found out about the drugs, and they're gonna get you off the drugs. No, they gave me more.
More gave me more just to do like like their own personal guinea pig. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, it was still. I mean, the character's good. I mean,
Yeah, it is. That's when Tony figured
the
out that
character was good. I mean,
Killian is behind the whole thing.
yeah, Ben Kingsley does. He's a good actor.
Oh, he's a good actor. He plays that
He
like
is a good actor. Because I mean, come on,
high
he played.
surfer boy really well.
Yeah, he played two roles. I mean, he went from this evil guy to this. Because remember the movie, one of the things that makes you think he's really the Mandarin. Because remember when we talked about he shoots that Roxanne guy in the face.
Yeah.
Because remember, what is it? Killian. He goes, "Hey, nobody look at him unless you want to get shot in the face."
Yeah.
So it's like he's trying to make it look like this guy is.
Yeah, and the lowest, yep.
But now we're there and we realize this guy's a loser.
He's a loser because Killian's behind the whole thing. He's orchestrating the whole thing.
And of course, he spills the beans to Tony about what's going on.
And then like even Cheadle knows it's all fake.
He knows it's all fake. He knows he knows pretty much knows what's going on, even though he's not behind any of it.
Yeah.
But that's when Seven appears
and knocks out Tony.
Yeah, and I like it what Trevor says. He goes, "Why don't you push the panic button?" He goes, "Well, I panicked and then I handled it." Opens the beer.
Yeah. And then he's like,
he's real tough again.
He's like, "What'd you tell him?" "I didn't tell him anything." I don't know. He's just telling the truth, or he just forgot.
Yeah, I think he's lying.
He's lying.
He's a liar. He's a liar. And the next thing we know is Tony's tied to a bedpost. He's tied to a bed frame.
Hanging up, yeah, and then he's talking about Maya.
Yeah, and then this is when Maya's trying to. Well, he's explaining to Maya why he's done about he has somebody, and she don't have any of that, And then I guess this is supposed to be when Maya decides, "I'm gonna be a good person now."
Mm-hmm. And that's when obviously, when you decide to be a good person, you die.
Yeah. Well, I like it because, of course, Killian shows up.
Yeah. Well, before he even shows up, like Maya needs his help with the math, right?
Yeah. Well, she's still trying to get him the help.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why. I mean, but he explains he's not going to help her. He pretty much tells her, "I'm not going to help you."
Yep.
And then Maya realizes he's never going to help.
Yep.
Because see, Maya's idea was they got Pepper, Tony Stark will help, no problem.
Yeah.
Now she realizes he's never going to help now, and of course Killian thinks he's still going to help for some reason.
Well, what's really funny? I want to talk about the conversation. Like, Killian comes in, right? He's talking about the early bird gets the worm, and the second mouse
he always says something his dad says.
Yeah, like he says something his dad's like, the second mouse gets the cheese, right? Then he goes on a whole speech like, I thank you. He thanks Tony for giving him the present, right? And then Tony's like, I'm still wondering what happened to the first mouse.
Exactly, because that's the way I was thinking too. I was like, you just got a lot to say. It doesn't make any sense.
It's just like, what happened to the first mouse? And then that's when Killian talks about his plan, right? Like a Bond villain.
Yeah, he talks about his plan. Plus, he's also got to show, hey, I also got your girlfriend. Da, da, da.
And then he mentioned Thor a little bit. Since the hammer fell from the sky.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people have been saying that because remember we forgot to say that about Happy. Remember when Happy was talking at the very first as a security guard to Tony, and he goes, "Yeah, I goes." Well, it tells a joke that's always been funny. He goes, "People laughed at me when I tell everybody I'm Iron Man's bodyguard."
Yeah, bodyguard, yes.
But he also goes, he goes, I miss you, Happy. He goes, I miss you too. He goes, but now you're off hanging with the Super Friends, which is DC.
Super Friends.
Off hanging with the Super Friends. He goes, the whole world is weird now.
Yeah.
And
that's find out people, yeah.
I mean, in a way, because come on. If aliens came from space, you would think people would be even more freaked out.
Oh yeah, I definitely freaked out. They mentioned that at the end of Avengers, they're glad that they know there's these kind of guys out there.
Yeah, even though at the end of the Avengers you see all those people wondering who's going to pay for the damage, like they don't.
Yeah, exactly. I know they brought that up too.
They don't got anybody to
Civil War. Yep.
But yeah, in a way it's all weird, and I guess Killian. But the best thing is Killian tells the story. I like Killian's idea though. Killian is right on this, where he basically says you can have as much power as you want as long as nobody knows you're the one in power.
Yes, that's the thing why he controls the Mandarin. That's why I loved it then. Like, he gave him somebody other villain to hate, even though he's running things. Like I was thinking, somebody could control this whole planet as long as you don't know somebody could. Because the problem is
when somebody knows that somebody controls something, there's always somebody who wants to go up against them.
Yes.
You know, it's like in our country. Everybody knows who the president is. They're always angry at the president. It doesn't matter if we change presidents; they're still angry at the
It's
guy.
just too angry at the president. No, yeah, I know. It's
Yeah,
someone
I
else
mean,
behind the scenes that you don't know.
yeah, you could change parties and they'll still be mad. And like, there's always somebody mad at whoever's in control.
Yep.
There's always somebody that's got to be a revolutionary for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, everything's good. You got food, you got water, you got money, you're free, but it's still going to revolt against you.
Yes.
But I like how he explains that. And
yeah.
Of course, Tony's still thinking about the
first mouse.
And then of course, then Maya gets this crazy idea that she's going to inject herself.
Yeah, like she's like holding her hostage in the way, and then he kills her.
Yeah, he just like, boom, shoots her like no big deal, and then he turns to Tony. Now we got a high-end position.
Yeah, a high-end position, but I guess he still wants Tony to work with him or for him in this case.
Because he needs it fixed.
Yeah, he needs it fixed.
But of course, he's like, I got other business, because now he's got to go attend to Rhodes.
Yeah, I told you Rhodes, he tried to get him out of the suit.
Yeah, because all his other henchmen couldn't get him out of the suit.
Yeah.
And I like it when he's trying to get him out of the suit, he's warming up that suit, you know, and then Savin's like, you're going to destroy the suit, and he goes, well, you can fix it. Well, they're kind of getting on each other's nerves in a way, because you can tell. Because remember, because then he goes, I want you to load Pepper up on the helicopter, and we're going to take her with me. And he goes, well, she's still going in stage 2. And he goes, did you go deaf?
Yes.
Because you're losing your hearing too now.
Yeah.
And of course, they get Rhodey. I like it when Rhodey gets out of the suit. He starts to punch at him.
Punches this guy, yeah, I know.
He breathes fire. He goes, whoa, you can breathe fire.
So you breathe fire now? Okay. Okay. He's like so nonchalant about it.
The thing is, by this time, I finally got used to the new Rhodey, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I love this guy now.
Yeah, I love this guy. I love what's his name, Don Cheadle.
I mean, I always liked him. I liked him, but now I'm like, but I was still like, kind of like,
He's a good actor, you know. That's why I like.
Yeah, he was always a good actor.
Okay, I love that.
It's just now I got a new Rhodey though. I had to get used to the new Rhodey. You know, I was already attached to the first Rhodey from the first movie. Yeah. Plus, I mean, in the second Iron Man movie, he stole Iron Man's suit. So I mean, it's like, hey, dude, what kind of friend are you? But by this movie, I'm like, this guy's a good friend.
Yeah, I love that part. So they got him.
Well, I like a lot of his scenes.
I did.
Because they get better. They get better further in the movie.
They do, because like the next scene after, you know, they got Rhodey. No, they didn't get Rhodey.
Well,
they got him out. He escapes.
Yeah, well, the suit flies off, because remember, the suit flies off, and of course Iron Man. Well, he calls Iron Man, and Tony's like, "Is that suit you?" Because this is a plot point. He's like, "No, that's not me in that suit." And he's like, "Meet me in the house."
Well, but no, you skipping a whole bunch of stuff. I was gonna point out, like, after the next scene, like,
we forgot the scene.
The door watch alarm beeps, because he said it to when Jarvis was gonna be powered up, or the Mark 42 is gonna be powered up, and the guys are looking like, what the hell is that beeping from? It is the door Explorer watch, and then Tony says like, hey man, watch it, there's a limited edition.
Yeah, and of course the guy stomps on it, and he goes, hey. He goes. I'm gonna kill you first.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill you first.
Tied to the bed. He's like, I'm gonna kill you first.
Then he asked that question.
He tells that guy. He tells that guy.
The question, right?
Yeah, he asked that question. He asked that guy. He goes, "Hey, Ponytail Express.
Yeah.
What's the mileage between Tennessee
to Miami to Florida?" Yeah. Then he gave me the number. I was like, "Well, that's actually pretty. That's right."
Yeah, the guy's like, "I'm good at that. Like that's his thing."
That's so stupid.
Then he keeps going 1, 2, 3, and then nothing happens. 1, 2, 3. They're like, "Hey, you're gonna have to shut up." Or no, what did they say? How do we get this job?
Yeah.
Of course, then we see the suit fly in. Part of the suit fly in.
Yeah, just the right hand first, right? I think.
Yeah, just the right hand first. And of course, he blasts that guy that stepped on the watch. And of course, the kid has to let the rest of the suit out.
Yeah, he let the suit out like it was in the garage, or in the shed, I guess.
Yeah, it was in the shed, and it couldn't get out. And then, of course, he gets himself freed. He beats all those guys without. He was just the glove. He beats all those guys with that glove. And I like that last guy. He's about to shoot that last guy, and he goes, "It's okay." He goes, "I'm done." He goes, "These people." He goes, "I quit."
No, he said like, honestly, I heard working here. They're so weird. And then he just leaves.
Yeah, they're so weird. He walks off.
He just leaves.
And then this is when he gets the suit on.
Yeah, he gets the suit on.
And of course, the suit doesn't work. The suit doesn't work fully. And then he calls Rhodes to meet him in the main house.
Yep, because he wants to show him the Mandarin. Yeah.
Of course, we go in the house, and there's those girls in bikinis playing.
They're playing ping pong, right? You know what's
Playing
really
ping
funny?
pong.
You know what's really funny in that scene? That's something that I would have said when he's like, "Hey, what is this? I got winners." It just holds a ping pong. I'm like, "Oh my god, that's exactly what I would have said." I'm not even Iron Man. That's just something I do. What's this? I got winners.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
of course they find Trevor,
Find
and
Trevor.
and they talk, hey Trevor, tell us, and they want Trevor to tell them what's
What he
going
knows.
on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, what he knows. Of course they burn his ear with a gun. Like, of course he goes, hey Ringo.
Yes, Ringo. That's what he calls him, Ringo.
And of course, of course Rhodey's like, this is the Mandarin.
Yeah, just
See,
the
he was
Mandarin.
disappointed too, just
He
like
was.
me.
Yes.
He should have just shot him.
Well, this is a very important scene here because, like, they call the vice president because they were telling them
Yes.
the plan they were using.
Well,
the
yeah,
Iron
they get on the
Patriots and
boat.
Trojan
Remember, they
horse.
get on the boat, and yeah, it is important because they call the vice president, and of course he's like, "Hey, Rhodes is with the president," and then
No, wait,
Rhodey's like,
before you go on, because you talk about the speedboat, I totally forgot about that part because they couldn't get air travel and his suit didn't work. That's when they asked Trevor, like, "Didn't you say you have a speedboat?" That's how they got on the boat.
there wasn't much of a speedboat
He
though.
just
It was kind of a crummy boat.
then you see Tony in the Iron Man suit and Rhodey riding on this boat.
Yeah. And then they call the vice president.
Then they call the vice president.
Which is, this is when you know something's wrong because they tell the vice president he's in danger, and he's like, "No, I'm okay." And then they go, "Well, you need to call the president or tell somebody that he's in danger." And he hangs up the phone and goes, "Oh, everything's okay."
Yeah, everything's okay, and that's when you find out he's in it because he has a daughter that's missing
Yeah,
limbs
he has
too.
a daughter who's missing a leg.
Yep.
So he betrayed his whole country because.
Well, that makes sense, like it's someone you love, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But man, how did he not think that he's not going to get found out?
Because everything works. You think it's gonna work out. It's one
Yeah,
of
I
those.
guess you did.
Yeah, it's the one of the things where like everything's gonna work out because you believe in
Yeah.
it. Everything's gonna be okay.
Well, but we also know this line in a way because remember, Killian also says he doesn't need the president anymore because he has a new political
Yes.
backer. So.
Yep. So he needs to So basically, the Iron Patriot, he gets on board the Air Force One, takes the president.
Yeah, and well, everybody thinks it's of course Rhodey because
Yeah.
and of course anyway he just kills all those guys.
Right.
And then the president's like, "Kill me." And he goes, "No, Mr. President." Because the face opens because everybody else was killed and they thought it was Rhodey, I guess.
Yeah.
But now if you see that other guy's face and he's like, "Hey, that's not how the Mandarin works."
Yeah.
And then you see something goes wrong because it shows the Air Force people and they know that Air Force One's been compromised.
Yeah.
And they see the suit fly off.
Yep.
And then that's when the Iron Man suit finally shows up.
Yeah, Iron Man finally comes up.
Well, we think Iron Man's on there because remember, because
wasn't he charging his suit with a boat? He was charging his suit with a boat, right?
Was it? Yes. Well, he had that battery. It's probably using one of the batteries off the boat.
Yeah, to charge his Iron Man suit.
Because he had that battery. He had the car battery plugged up too. And then of course Rhodey's like, "Hey, you can't see the president in Pepper Potts." And then of course it shoots to the scene where Iron Man shows up on the president's plane.
Well, did Iron Man kill? Yeah, he killed on the Air Force One, right? Didn't he kill Seven?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Well, remember because he's trying to burn him up, and then I love this scene because he just blasts right through him.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Walk away from that, you son of a bitch."
Yeah. Yeah.
I was so happy because I was like, that guy was such a jerk. Man.
He was, and he was the one that actually got Happy in the hospital.
Yeah, he's the one that killed Hospital. He finally caught up with him and gave him what he. Yep. Of course, then that's when, of course, then the.
Now,
you
this
remember
is the rescue scene.
Yeah, that's a huge rescue scene where he asked Jarvis, because how many people are there? He goes, 13. He goes, how many people can I carry? 4. So he played that game. You ever seen it? You know Barrel Monkeys, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And they play basically Barrel Monkeys.
So and I want to point out this very important here, right? When I was watching this scene, I compared this to iRobot. Because the equation was 13 people and he can only carry 4. So he had to think outside the box how he was going to carry that, right? And that's something that the computer cannot figure out.
What do you mean?
Like when he does the thing, okay, you hold his hand, and we make the Bell of Monkeys, right?
Yeah,
There's
but
something that they.
how's this compared to
So
iRobot? That's what I want to know.
on iRobot, the reason why Will Smith hates the robots, right? Because the
Yeah.
robot figured out his probability of saving him over the
Yes,
girl
I
was
forgot about
higher.
that.
So the
Okay,
robot
yeah.
doesn't think outside the box. He doesn't think that the girl's life,
Well,
the
yeah. Well,
kid's
because they're
life is more
robots. I
important.
mean,
Yeah.
they can only do what's within their programming.
Yes. So that's
That's
why
the
I want to
problem
point
with a
out
lot of people.
Jarvis was not able to figure out like, well, you can do it this way, and then Tony just used math like if I do
Yeah.
it this way.
But the problem is now, from now on, Jarvis will know how to do this.
Yes, he just learned.
Yeah, because basically Jarvis' program probably has to do with monkey see, monkey
Terminator.
do type.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna call it monkey see, monkey do type programming.
Well,
Every quip, everything that Tony says is recorded, and Jarvis probably plays it back and will use it in a certain response.
And there's evidence because in the beginning he mocks him. He mocks Tony
Yes,
like
exactly.
It's been a pleasure watching you work.
But he also kind of did that in Iron Man 2. Remember, he goes, well, no, Iron Man 1, because he goes, it's nice to see you in a video with your clothes on.
Yes.
I mean, he has the personality like Tony Stark because basically he's programmed.
Yeah, programmed by Tony Stark.
Because that's probably the type of. I mean, if I had a system like that, I'd want to program it to deal with me the way I like to talk, the way I want to be dealt with.
Yeah.
But yeah, he saves all those people and of course drops them in the water. Yeah, go team.
You know what's really funny? You know what's really funny when those 13 people? What if one of them can swim? Not everybody's like that little boy from Captain America, right? Like, hey, I can't swim.
Yeah. Apparently he lucked out because everybody seemed like they could swim.
Well, if you think about that, they came from Air Force One, right? So they probably train anyway.
Maybe so.
Can you imagine you're in Air Force One, but you don't know how to swim?
Yeah, but you know what? Also, every time I see that Air Force One blow up, I'm thinking, because the Air Force One carries a lot of people on it.
Oh, it
so
does?
A lot of people actually got. Well, there's got to be a lot of people got killed on that plane.
A lot of important people too.
Yeah, a lot of important people, which you would think would be a bigger deal. And it has to be a huge deal in the MCU world.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Because I mean, aliens attack the Earth now. The president's almost been killed. The vice president's implicated, and they just blew up Air Force One.
Right.
One of the Air Force Ones.
Yes. Oh wait.
Technically, because the neat thing is, it's not Air Force One anymore. When it blew up, it's not Air Force One.
Really? What is it?
Because the Air Force One is only when the president is on the plane. It's Air Force One.
Oh, that's right. So when the president left with Iron Patriot,
yeah, even though they didn't know, it's not Air Force One anymore. So it's not a big loss. And of course, they should. I mean, it's not like they went after Harrison Ford anyway. So that would have been a fight.
So you know what's really cool about this scene? Because after he saved those people, right, he was gonna go to
Well, this is a cool scene because when he flies over the bridge, remember?
Yeah, that's all I was going to point out. And then the semi hits him, and then they fall apart, and then you figure out Tony wasn't in there either.
Yeah, because you think, because you do think he's in the suit, right? Yeah. When that truck hits it, you're thinking, oh crap! And then of course, here comes Rhodey, opens the doors, and Tony's standing down there with the little headset.
Yeah, with the little headset. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. And then since
I thought that was awesome. I thought that was really
awesome.
Cool.
So when
it makes you, because all of a sudden, because you think, oh. And then after you see it, it's like I should have thought that was a suit all the time.
Yes.
Because I mean, it happens again in Spider-Man.
I know.
Which is cool. I mean, I wish I had some suits. That way I don't have to clone myself.
To remote control, yeah, like to remote control it. And then it's really funny. Tony never like pop culture references, right? But then he tells Jarvis to do the house party protocol. Immediately, I think about the House Party movie from Kid and Play.
And I actually never saw House Party.
Oh, so but then when I never saw House Party either. Well, I probably seen it, but
I know of it. I know who was in it, Kid and Play, but.
But he said House Party Protocol, and I'm like, isn't that like a '90s reference? But he just
it was a '90s movie, man.
Yeah. But he may not know what it is. So that's when you see the basement of the house opens, right, and then. You never see what comes out. Like it just shows something flying out of that hole.
Yeah, it shows something coming towards the workers.
Yeah.
But he doesn't call House Party Protocol yet, right?
Yeah, he did. He said the House Party. I wrote it down.
Okay.
Because Jarvis said, like, dude, would you like to initiate the House Party Protocol? He said yes. So
yeah,
Jarvis you know what he's thinking.
Yeah. Well, then that's when they make it to where is that? Probably Atlanta is where they're supposed to go.
Yeah.
Where the docks are.
Yeah, where the docks are. Yeah.
Yeah, and well, of course the president shows up. They showed the Pepper Potts.
Yep.
She's tied up in a deal, and she's talking to Killian, and Killian's like, "Well, you're kind of my trophy."
Yeah. That's, it's like it's feels kind of cliche to say, right? Or he said something like
Yeah,
cheesy.
and of course the president shows up, and he shows him the rocks on Norco.
Yeah.
Was an oil spill, and of course he tells him the president goes, "Well, you got all those people off," and the president's like, "But that." He goes, "That's not really important. That's not what brought you here. I'm just going to kill you on TV because
Yeah. Just
I need to direct attention." He goes, "But it makes a good story, don't it?" Basically,
yes.
what he says. He's like, "I don't care what kind of crooked crap you did. I'm killing you just for fun." So they tie him up on the.
Yeah, they tie him up like they have Pepper and also the president, right? You know what that reminds me of in Batman Forever when he have when Brother Lloyd has was it Manhattan Chase Midian, right? I can't remember her name now.
Yeah, well, Dr. Chase.
Dr. Chase, and then was it Robin on the other one? What did he have in the other one?
Oh yeah, you're right. When the Riddler had them both in those little glass tubes,
you have to
that could have
choose who
been.
you want to save.
Yeah, and he drops them through the deal.
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, it just reminds me of that when he make them choose. Well, obviously this one is a big battle too, when like the final battle with Rhodey against all these extremists.
Yeah, well, they make their way and they're shooting at everything. Because this is what you see when they're shooting the guns. And of course, he tells Rhodey, he goes, "You can't shoot that light bulb out."
Yeah, I know. It's funny.
Shoot that light bulb
told him,
out.
like, hey, good job shooting the glass right away. I can't hit the light bulb from this distance, and then
But
boom.
also but there's also something else I like. Because movies they always have someone with a gun.
Yeah.
A pistol will only carry so many bullets.
Yes.
Each gun is different. Each pistol's different. I like it when he goes, "Hey, give me a clip," and he goes, "They're not interchangeable, Tony." And he's like, "I make these. Of course they are." I mean, most people don't actually know that.
No, yeah,
you know, or no, but think about it, because the guns in Hollywood movies, you can get a clip from anybody.
Yeah, and then they just work.
A magazine, I guess I should say. You can get a magazine from anybody.
I do know that.
And and they never run out of bullets. And this one,
before you worked at Lowe's, I went shooting in McKinney with another guy, and that was the first time I found out because I never shot a gun before.
Yeah.
Then that was the day I shot a gun. It was awesome.
It was pretty awesome.
Shooting gun is awesome. It's great to be in Texas.
But I just thought that was a cool scene. And then
it was a cool scene.
Then they get surrounded by the extremist soldiers.
Yeah.
And that's when we get to see the suits.
The house party shows up.
Yeah, the house party shows up.
I love that.
I love that because this is where I like this. I like the scene right here because he stands up and he puts his arms out, and the suit comes down and gets all around him.
Yeah.
And then of course
Rhodey's there with mine.
Rhodey puts his hands out. And he goes, "Yeah, go all right, give me my suit." He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, they're only coded to me."
Coded to me. I thought Tony would be able to override something, so it could be coded to Rhodey and Tony,
Oh, I'm sure it can, but Rhodey wouldn't give him another magazine for his pistol. So.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. He's not gonna do that. I know he can't. He's just being a jerk about it.
Yeah, I like it. And of course, Rhodey's just standing there like this. And of course, that other Iron Man comes down and he goes, "Lieutenant, Rhodes, could I give you a ride?"
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me."
Grab on this.
So embarrassing. He hugs that robot. And of course, doing all this, right? You know what I saw? I saw a bigger version of Iron Man that looks like the Hulkbuster.
Which one are you talking about, Igor?
Was it Igor? I can't remember the name.
If it's the blue one, it's Igor.
Yeah, it's the blue one, right?
Yeah, I don't know how big he was. I didn't think he was a big giant machine.
Well, it didn't look big, right? It's just the shape, the design.
Yeah.
He ran in like a football player, right?
But apparently he is a big one. But yeah, it's Igor.
Oh.
Because there's several suits out there. I don't know if all the suits show up or not. It'd be only the suits in the cave, so it'd be what, number 10 to 42?
41.
41.
Yeah.
Well, 42 shows up later.
Yeah, 42 shows up. Yeah, I want to.
And of course, he named some of the suits. I mean, some of the suits, one's like one suit was, and all the suits supposed to do a different job. Because remember, the kid mentions a stealth Iron Man suit.
Yes.
Which he actually does have a stealth iron suit in there. And the stealth iron suit was actually in the comic book way back in the 80s, where he fights Obadiah Stane.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the cell suit's been around. So it names all the suits, and one of the suits is like the Silver Citron or Citron or whatever. It's one he had in the comic books for a long time. So it's a silver suit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we see the giant battle, and it's all over the place.
Yeah, it's all over the place, and this is the time that Rhodey saves the president when he fights some heat
Yeah.
people by himself.
Yeah, he fights those people. Yeah, when he shoots, what those people jump on that
trailer,
with him. Yeah, and he shoots the chains out.
Yep.
And then of course he gets over there and saves the president, and Iron Man makes it to
Killian. Yeah, Pepper. Yeah.
He makes it to Pepper first, because remember he tries to pull Pepper out, and of course King comes up through the floor. Hey, this guy, what's this cheesy line?
Yes.
This guy bothering you? I was like, what? And then of course, because they keep doing the cheesy lines, and I guess they do it for a reason, because remember when he's putting his finger on Tony, he goes, she's watching, close your eyes.
Yes.
I'm gonna cook you in your little suit. I'm like, shut up. And then of course, when he slings his hand and he puts that hand off, and he cuts his hand off, he goes, walk. What did he say? Oh, you take a moment.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
you
take a moment.
I was like, about time, because that guy, shut that guy up. He's starting to get on my nerves.
Yeah, that part, like, Rhodey got the president down, and he tells him, like, Mr. President, you never look better, but I'm so sorry, I'm going to need the suit back.
Exactly. And of course, he grabs the president, tells Tony he's leaving. He goes, hold on.
Oh, because, he got to secure the president. Yeah, he's got to get the president out of there.
Yeah, so they're done. So much for American business right there.
Yeah, so for American business, that's right. He said it before, not superhero business.
Yeah, this is not superhero business.
And I think, when Killian grew his hand back, it was obvious that Tony can't beat this guy without the suit.
Yeah.
And then that's when 42 comes back.
Yeah, well, actually, remember this is kind of a big deal, because didn't the building bust up and falls over, and then Pepper's hanging on that ledge, and Tony sticks his hand out and tells her, "You've got to jump, or I could catch you."
Yeah.
Because you can't stay there. And of course, he doesn't, and she falls.
I didn't see that coming at all. You know that?
I didn't see that coming either.
Whoa.
I guess you figure that she's going to come back, but it's also left you wondering.
Yeah.
Is she going to come back? Are they going to kill her off?
It did. I was like, I didn't see that coming. Even the second, third, or fourth time, I was like, oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah, okay. I didn't forget about it, because I didn't forget. Well, I mean, I didn't know it was coming in the theater, but when I watched it again, I never forgot about it, because it was a pretty big.
Oh no, I'm talking about when I saw that. And watching it, I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I was a pretty big deal. Because I'm like, you told her you were going to catch her, and you didn't.
And then it fell. I did totally caught me off guard, man.
But I mean, in the movies, you always see that, and you expect them to catch them.
Yep.
I mean, come on, that would be hard to do.
Oh, I know.
Of course, Killian. Remember what Killian does? He goes, "I would have caught her."
Oh, I know, such a jerk. He said I would have caught her. That's when 42 returns, right? And he's like, "Oh, look at that! The prodigal son returns," and it falls apart. He's like, "Well, it figures."
But the best thing is when of course he stands up.
Before you do that, okay? So this whole scene, right? I never realized Tony was wearing an AIM shirt.
Oh, you did?
I didn't. I was like,
I realized it, when they left, when they were on the boat, because remember it had all the hose in it.
Yeah, I was like, is he wearing an AIM shirt? I want
that. Yeah, he's wearing an AIM shirt. You can see the RT device sticking out, but he had hose all in it. It looked like they had bullet holes in it. He took it off.
Because there was so much going on. I'm like, then I realized they took a second to talk to each other. Like, he's wearing an AIM shirt. And what happened? Oh, so when did it happen? When did Tony put the suit on Killian?
Well, right in this scene, because it falls apart.
Yeah,
and of course Killian. And that's when Killian goes, "Hey, I would have caught her."
Yes.
Then he goes. Then he's telling her. He goes, he's going to make her better now. And of course he's like, "No, you're wrong. She was. I'm probably not good enough for her, but she's perfect the way she is."
Yes.
And then he's like, sends the suit onto Killian and tells him, "Hey, Jarvis, blow 42."
Yes, blow 42.
And of course it blows up, and then he makes it to the ground.
And then you know what that scene reminds me of when he walked out of the fight? It looks like Terminator.
Exactly. When she comes out of Terminator, it's like it's a Terminator.
Terminator scene.
Of course, she comes out, and then of course another Iron Man suit tries to kill her again.
Yeah. Yes.
He's trying to call Jarvis off, and she's running. He goes, "Are you mad?"
Well, because in the beginning he told Jarvis to recognize all the
Yeah,
high heat signatures
yeah.
and
All
proceed with extreme caution.
all extremists. Yeah,
Yeah,
all
all
extremist
extremists.
heat signature.
Yep.
Of course, she jumps up and busts a hole right through the Iron Man suit.
Yes.
Apparently, she was taking out all her aggression against
Against Tony on that one.
on
I
that one.
thought the same
And
thing
of course,
too.
you see that missile. That missile falls out. She kicks that missile. I mean, come on, this
That
is
missile
actually
remind me of the Hammer Tech, the
yeah. It was like
ex-wife.
a hammer tech, but it's most likely that missile that he used in the very first movie.
Oh, okay.
Blow up
Oh,
the tank.
in the tank.
Because you got to think that was just Hammer's horrible copy of a starting missile.
Yep. And then that's how
Of course,
Pepper kills
but
Killian, right?
that was a pretty good move though, because she
Yeah.
kicks that deal. Because Tony ain't that athletic.
No, he's
I mean,
not.
you see him in the first of the movies how to do some fight scenes.
Yeah, it is the second
apparently,
one.
But apparently, if him and Pepper got a fight, Pepper will win.
Pepper will win, yes. He's not.
Because look at her, she jump kicks a missile, hits Hillian in the face, and shoots it at the same time.
Yeah.
Of course, what did he do? He shows up and he goes, "Tony, I'm the Mandarin."
Yes. Yeah.
I remember when I was seeing that video, I was like,
You don't think so?
no. Even though he's got 2 dragon tattoos on his chest. Oh my god.
I didn't accept Killian as the Mandarin either, and also, he dies, right? Because they did the missile kick shooting move.
I mean, that's what a missile kick will do to you.
Yeah, and then it's really funny when Pepper said like, "Who's the hot mess now?" And Tony still had to be smart, right? Well, that's still debatable.
Yeah, but I like it. He goes, but it's leaning a little bit towards you right now.
Yeah. Yep.
And then of course she's worried about being okay. And then I like it. He tells her, "I bet you I could sort this out because I almost did when I was drunk."
Yeah, I almost did when I was drunk.
And of course, then we get to
they do the surgery. Narration. Yeah, they do the surgery, right?
Well, we get back to the narration where he realizes that he says he sorted out Pepper's problems.
Yes.
And he decided, why stop there?
Why stop there?
Some people say, what did he say? Some people progress is bad, but he goes, "I've had the best sleep that I have ever had."
Yes.
And of course, it shows him remove all that shrapnel because that doctor removes all the shrapnel out of him. And then of course he goes to his house to get his dummy robot back on a trailer he's pulled behind his electric car. And then he throws the RT unit off into the ocean.
Yeah, he does that. So does that mean I was going to ask you, when he gets the shrapnel out, does that mean that he doesn't need this anymore?
Exactly. He doesn't need that anymore.
That's why he threw it.
Remember that thing in his chest was just holding the shrapnel in place. But now the doctor pulled all the shrapnel out. He doesn't need that RT unit.
Huh.
So it's gone now.
So what does he use that RT for?
Well, to power the suits now.
To power the suits. Oh, that's just mainly to power the suits. Okay.
But remember, we see more. He gets another unit. The new units, though, are work like the extremists do. They're nanonites.
Yes.
So now he's got nanonite technology, and most of it's contained in the RT unit on his chest that he carries around.
And that's
you see it moves around.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I forgot all about that when we watch Avengers 2. I don't remember what the unit on his chest looks like. Does he even have one? But I know in Endgame,
no, Infinity
War. Infinity War, he wears one, but it's not attached to him.
Yeah.
He just carries it around with him. Because you remember, Pepper's doesn't like him carrying it around with him. But he's back to his crazy self because of some little witch put something in his head.
the PTSD kicks back in. I know.
Yeah, well, it's a hex.
So it's really cool. So it goes back to the they show the scene with the boy, right? He has quite an upgrade in his shed. It looks like a Iron Man version of his for a little boy.
Oh, I do. I forgot about that because I love that scene when that kid walks in.
He walks in, right? The camera tilts. Is there a '64 Mustang in his shed? He puts a Mustang.
There's a Mustang, but it's not a '64.
But he put a Mustang in this boy's shed. What is this boy going to do with this car?
Well, he had that Mustang's been in the shed, though. The Mustang was always in the shed.
But then, he upgraded that, too.
Yeah, he upgraded. Well, I guess when that kid can drive, eventually the kid's going to be able to drive. He's going to have a very nice car.
And I like he put the potato gun Mark II.
But, in a way, though, you got to remember, Tony Stark's a car guy.
Yeah.
In his garage, he has all those nice old cars and exotic cars.
Oh,
so basically, so this is this kid's antique car.
Not only that, when the first time the boy meets Tony, right? He asked Tony, "What's that thing on his chest?" He said that's
Yeah.
a magnetic something.
Electromagnet.
Right?
Yeah, that's
Electromagnet.
electromagnet.
You should know.
You have a whole
bunch
case
of
of
them.
them.
Yeah.
Even though those aren't electromagnets, those were just magnets.
Yeah, like you have a whole case of them. Yep. That was really cool. That was.
But yeah, I like that. And he got the potato gun Mark II.
Mark II. I thought that was so funny. Put potato gun Mark II.
And then of course, don't we cut to the credits and
we cut to the credits. Then we
the end.
Post edit. Yep.
Then the post. Yeah, where we see him talking to the Hulk or Bruce Banner.
Yeah. So the whole time he's talking to Bruce.
Yeah, the whole time it turns out, yeah, it seems like he's narrating, but actually he's sitting there talking to Bruce, telling his story.
Yeah.
They're probably working on the Hulkbuster during this time period.
See, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, that's what I would say. But the funny thing is, the building doesn't look like Stark Tower.
No, it doesn't. It starts to look like the Avengers building. The colors, the themes gives it away.
Well, I see bricks. That's why I was wondering: is it supposed to be Stark Tower or not? Because Stark Tower's all glass.
I don't think it is. I think it's not.
Maybe it's just another building in New York. Yeah. But I'm gonna say it is Stark Tower, somewhere in Stark Tower. Anyways, just for the. But I like it because Bruce Banner fell asleep.
He fell asleep. He just only heard the beginning.
Yeah, he goes. It's when you got into the elevator in Switzerland.
Yeah, Switzerland is like okay. And I like that. He's like, I'm not that kind of doctor, Tony.
So I don't have any of that kind of training.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of training.
And of course, what's Tony? Because here's what what also this does. This is what remember Civil War. Civil War. Tony Stark shows him that little thing at the college.
Yeah.
Where it makes all the fake people, makes them younger.
Yes. In the Civil
War. This is probably that's where he came up with that right then.
Oh.
It has to be. Because remember, he goes, that whole thing he does, it works out his problems now.
Yes.
It's like a therapist. It's like having a therapist.
Oh my God,
so,
that's a good
what
connection.
I bet you that. I just now made that connection just now.
No, that's a really good one.
Because he's talking to Banner, trying to work through all his problems, like therapy. So now I bet he thinks, well, Banner goes to sleep, so why don't I just make a device
for himself?
Yeah, and of course, who helps work on this device?
Banner.
No,
what?
Not Banner. Somebody else that he ticks off that shows up in Spider-Man. Is this somebody else's idea?
I can't remember.
He's a villain. He's a Spider-Man supervillain. What was it?
Mysterio.
Yeah, Mysterio.
Yes.
Mysterio. Remember, it shows Mysterio help is actually this is Mysterio's idea.
Yes.
And he takes credit for it. So it all comes together. But I'm sure this is the scene that helped him go, this is a good idea.
Yep.
So yeah, so everything's connected.
I did like that scene. Yeah, you know what? It definitely Mysterio.
Yeah. Mysterio's because it shows Mysterio come up with the idea and he gets mad because he didn't get credit for it.
Yep.
Even though I think it is some Mysterio and Tony Stark idea.
Yep. Oh, that's really good.
That is awesome.
That's a great connection.
So yeah, so this is what led Tony Stark to build whatever that was called at what is it, Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
Yeah. You know what's really crazy? We talk about Iron Man 3 for a long time. It's like almost 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's even longer than the Avengers. So
yeah,
I'm gonna. Do we have anything else? Cause I know. Cause
I'm done. That's all I got to say.
Okay, so
we got other movies. We got other movies talking about.
All right, let me stop this one right here. Thank you for watching this segment of our reviews. I hope you had a great time listening to us. Be sure to subscribe and give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one. Laters.